Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love this.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Koob.
I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nest.
For the first time since June 10th, 2024, that was Game 2 of last season's Stanley Cup Finals, Evander Kane will play a game for the Edmonton Oilers. Kane expected to start tonight's game on a line on left wing with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. So the Oilers putting the two big boys together, at least based on the morning skate. McDavid with Draisaitl and Perry. That means Henrique with Frederick and Brown. Janmark with Podkolzin and Arvidsson. So Jeff Skinner expected to be a scratch tonight for the Edmonton Oilers in Game 2 against the Los Angeles Kings. On the back end, John Klingberg returns to action for your Edmonton Oilers. Josh Brown comes out. Don't think there's any surprises here, given what Chris Knoblock said yesterday. So Nurse with Bouchard, Wallman with Klingberg, Kulak with Emberson, Stuart Skinner, the starting goaltender again for the Oilers, who, of course, trail this best of 7, 1-0. The game is at 8 o'clock, and really an 8 o'clock start. 8:10 is the start tonight, so none of this 8:22 stuff. We are with you until 6:30, so a slightly extended edition of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne, and then Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas take over at 6:30 with a 90-minute edition of the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. But certainly the headline for the Oilers is that he is back, a guy who has played, some great stretches of hockey as an Oiler, but then battled through an injury-riddled campaign last season. Evander Kane is in. And he was asked about the toughest part about getting back into action.
I don't know. I'm not really thinking about that at all. Just thinking about what I'm going to do to try to help the team win, and not really think it's my first game. It's the playoffs. It's Game 2. We're down 1-0 in the series, so the thinking is not going to help me.
And Kane was asked if he ever wondered if he was going to play at all this season.
Nope. I was always very confident that I'd be back playing. So obviously, it was unsure when that was going to happen, but looking forward to tonight.
All right, here it is. The Kings expected to go with Kopitar and Kuzmenko and Kempe on a line, Deneau, Fogle, and Moore, Byfield, Fiala, and Laferriere. Pretty good top 9. They don't play their fourth line a lot. Hellenius, Malott. Did I do that right today, Koob? Malott? I've called him Malott. I've called him Mallet. I don't know if his name was called by Jack Michaels on the TV broadcast on Monday. This line doesn't play a lot. Turcotte as well. Anderson with Doughty, Gavrikov with Spence, Edmondson with Clark, though they moved those guys around. Spence and Clark don't play a ton. And once again, Darcy Kemper in goal. So quick scene set there. We'll get more from the Kings' perspective from Nick Nixon, legendary play-by-play voice of the Los Angeles Kings. He's been calling their games since 1981. He's going to join us in about 15 minutes. Jody Shelley will be on the show as well. We'll hear more from Evander Kane. You'll hear from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who I think needs to be much more of an impact than he did in Game 1. And, of course, some comments from Chris Knoblock. Happy to hear from you as well as we continue through the first round. Of course, you can text 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. I have received 4 limericks already. Three of them before the show started. One of them just came in. I really love that people love writing limericks. If you'd like to chat with us, but usually more just with each other about the game or Sometimes, sometimes sure we meander. The nasty chat, that's just the chat feature on YouTube. You can jump in there as well. A lot of people taking out the show on YouTube today. And of course, if you are on YouTube or if you have time to just jump into the YouTube stream for a couple of minutes, remember, look for that little thumbs up logo.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, so let's see what we can get to today. We've had a good couple of days of getting to those thumbs up. So let's see what we can get to this afternoon. Again, with you until 6:30. I'm Reid. He's Jay. How's it going, buddy?
I'm fired up. I'm ready to go.
You're ready? Well, you're wearing your Jaden Daniels shirt.
Yeah.
Playoff ready.
Playoff ready. Well, the NFL draft's coming up tomorrow, so I thought I'd reminisce about last year's draft when our Commanders just, took the best player in the draft, clearly. But we're here to talk about tonight's game. And I'm excited for Evander Kane. The no more passengers or too many passengers topic that was discussed after game one, well, that's going to be put to the test tonight. And see if that line with Hyman and Nuge can get rolling. But we'll get into that as the afternoon goes. But, I mean, how can't you be excited? I mean, nobody knows exactly what he's going to bring or what shape he is or what form he's in. But This is a bona fide playoff player, bona fide NHL superstar. Well, maybe not superstar, but star.
Very good player.
Very good player.
When healthy and playing at his best, yes.
That's entering the lineup in game 2 of the playoffs.
Right.
You got to love that.
Jeff Skinner bumped out, which we'll discuss throughout the course of the afternoon as well. Trent Frederick's going to play with Henrique and Brown. I think Frederick on a line with certainly Connor Brown. I think we need to see more of tonight as well. And Klingberg's in on the back end. So it's come to this.
It has.
On the back end, Josh Brown played less than 5 minutes in game 1. Cam Dineen is with the team, but John Klingberg, who we haven't seen him for a while either, he's going to factor in. He'll play more than 5 minutes. I can guarantee that. How is Klingberg going to play? I mean, to me, Klingberg, look, there's certainly I have some uncertainties about how Kane will play. And I'm glad that he's playing. I mean, it's been a long road back from him. I think a lot of my sense is, just from talking to people today and seeing things on social media and interaction with our previous shows here on Edmonton Sports Talk, I think generally there's excitement about him playing. So I'm good for that. You're like, got to remember, back in September, I said, I don't know if he's going to play another game for the Oilers. I really didn't when we heard about this injury and then that other one that the knee stuff that came out 2 or 3 months ago. So I'm glad that he's in. And I think even if Kane might be a little bit limited or not at 100%, I still feel as if I have a sense about how he's going to play. John Klingberg has played a grand total of 3 games since the beginning of March. And he's never really looked like close to the peak John Klingberg. Like, I'm not expecting peak Evander Kane or from how he played in the Battle of Alberta 3 years ago, but I'm expecting a noticeable Evander Kane.
Yeah, fair to say.
Klingberg, even though he's played games this season, he never really played at that high of a level, and he's getting thrown into a pretty important situation here.
Yeah, but what's the alternative?
Well, that's the thing. It's come to this.
This is why
not available, right?
And Reid, this is why the day they signed John Klingberg, it was discussed that this is an upgrade on your lower end defenseman, and that's what's happening tonight. Pressing him into action, and yeah, I mean it's not a perfect world. You'd have Matthias Ekholm in there, but that's not the case. So you got to roll with what you got, and John Klingberg is the next man up.
That's what the playoffs are all about, buddy.
Who knows? Who knows, Reid? And you said that you're not expecting, Calgary Flames, Evander Kane. I don't know. I mean, he's been practicing with the team for quite a while now.
Yes.
He said in his own words that he's as healthy as he's healthier now than he was at all last season or last playoffs. Sorry. So I don't know. Shoot for the stars. Why? Hopefully you do see an Evander Kane that is a difference maker in mucking it up, in providing offense and general toughness for this team, because they sure need it and they need depth. And he's, adding him to the second line offers that.
All right, so just a quick scene set for the game tonight. Plenty to get you ready between now and 8 o'clock here on Edmonton Sports Talk. As I said, Jay and I are going until 6:30 today, Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30. Tom, today in West Edmonton Mall on Bourbon Street?
Yes.
At Hudson's?
Yep.
Okay. So that's a place you can go gather and meet Tom and maybe have him eat your food. Anyway, that's a story for another day. So, side note here. Jay we know that Jay Milne has an extensive musical background, as you were the lead singer of a band in your late teens and early 20s.
Yeah.
First called Brody and then called North Shore. You
Yes.
put out 2 albums. So you have musical ability. And inspired by the anthem the other night, you've brought a musical instrument into the studio.
Yeah, I brought my my harmonica. Now, this is in the key of C. This is a Marine Band Honer harmonica here. And I didn't know this until I got here, but earlier in the day, I guess Eric played his harmonica on the morning show. So my goal is to try and learn the Canadian national anthem so that I could fight back against what was the atrocity in game 1 of the seniors doing the American national anthem. So this is what I've learned thus far. Let me wet my whistle here.
Jay Milne on the harmonica. Pretty good.
That's it.
O Canada Hour.
5 bars.
That's not bad.
So
That's
there we
not
are.
bad.
That's where we're at.
I mean, you just started trying to learn it a couple hours ago.
Yeah, I started.
I think you're doing great.
I started in the car ride on the way here.
I would assume, I mean, we know people with OEG. Stu McDonald, one of the bigwigs, was on the show a couple of days ago.
Yeah, take this, Stu.
I think you might be getting a phone call. I mean, I assume they have someone lined up for the anthem for Friday.
Well, hey, dare to dream, Reid.
But game 4 Sunday, I think that's in play, that you're going to be invited down to call the anthem, to play the anthem on the harmonica.
If you asked me a year ago if I'd be sitting in this seat beside you, I'd say dare to dream, Jay. So anything can happen.
Dare to dream.
Anything
can happen. Absolutely. Okay, well that's somewhat encouraging that you have the harmonica. Tell you what, it is a game day. Tom's at Hudson's tonight. And on this show, every Oilers game day, we have the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. You're trying to win a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. You're invited down tonight for the Oilers game. You can also join them Fridays and Saturdays after 9 p.m. for late night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. All right, so just to recap this, and there's probably some new people tuning in today. This is, I give a series of clues throughout the show, usually a maximum of 5. I think once or twice we've had to give a 6th because no one gave it. I don't give them all at once. They're spaced out throughout the show. So, but here's the thing, maximum of 3 guesses per phone number. Jay monitors the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. It's not hard for him to see how many times you've texted in. Okay. So you have to choose, do I guess early? Do I do my 3 guesses right off and try to get it? Do I wait and hear more clues, but risk somebody getting it before me? It's you gotta weigh all that type of stuff. Again, honor system. People have been great with this because we have had multiple winners, which is fine. But you gotta wait about 2 weeks between times you've won. And we've even had people saying, "Hey Jay, I know I can't win, but I think it's this person." So we appreciate the honesty there because we like this. We want to reward people who know, but we also want to spread the GCs around as much as we can. So the first clue today, and again, for new people today, or if you've never guessed before, we only accept texted guesses. If you post something in the nasty chat, we are not going to react to it. We may not even see it. But remember, you may be helping somebody else win, right?
True enough.
They may think, oh yeah, I think that person's right. I'll text that in. So don't put the guesses in the nasty chat. You have to text those to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Today's first clue is loss. Today's first clue is loss. LOSS. Okay?
I have so much I want to say, but I can't.
You can't say anything. You can't say anything. You gotta hold off on it. You gotta hold off on it. So we'll give the next clue will be probably around 4:00, probably just before, just after, if no one gets it. And then we'll keep going from there. Okay? Sounds fun.
Brent P., let's get rid of that bum Brett Kissel and get Milne on stage. All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
I can put a cowboy hat on.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Sure. Sign me up.
I don't know who they have lined up for the anthems. I don't know if that's been reported yet. Sometimes I don't think they don't announce it till
he got a rough go, eh? Brett Kitzel.
when the mic went out.
Well, no, but he's associated with losing.
Oh, do they always lose? But I don't pay attention to stuff like that.
You wouldn't, and you probably shouldn't because you're working. But the rest of us that are watching are just die whenever they announce Brett Kissel's going to be singing the.
I used to in my other.
And I like Brett Kissel. I think he's great.
In my old job, I'd usually get to interview him. Is it Flat Lake he's from, which is in the general Bonnyville area?
Yeah.
Very hardworking guy. He's an incredible music career that he keeps plugging away at. Again, we don't know who's doing the anthems on Friday. But we do want to ask you this, another way you can participate in the show. It's our off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. What instrument should play the anthem tonight? Or on what instrument should the American anthem be played tonight? That is the off-topic topic.
Do you want to
give us your pitch?
You want me to give you one right now?
Sure.
Okay, I put together, what is it? Okay, here's what I think. I think this is a banger. Reid does not know what these instruments are. We're going to ease into it. I put together a few clips. We're going to play them throughout the show. So this is the first, not all of them American anthems either, just for the record. Reid, what instrument is this?
Well, I believe that's the electric guitar. Is that specifically Jimi Hendrix playing the Stars?
It is not. Okay. I was going to say bonus points if you know who's playing.
Okay, so it is electric guitar.
It's an electric guitar.
I don't know, Slash.
Joe Satriani.
Oh, okay. All right.
Joe Satriani on the electric guitar. There's nothing wrong with a good banger of an electric guitar.
Well, didn't Metallica do the anthem at a Sharks game?
They
did.
They've done it at a baseball game, at Giants games too. Like, it rocks. It gets the crowd going.
Caster 1990 in there quick says the accordion should be used for the U.S. anthem tonight. It's not a party until someone pulls out the accordion. My cousin James plays the accordion, and yeah, he can make it a party for sure. Okay, so that's the off-topic topic. We are going to have, I would love having this guy on the show. Been talking to him for years. He's an absolute wonderful human being, great broadcaster. In his final season of calling games for the Los Angeles Kings, he's been doing it since 1981. Nick Nixon is coming up first. Here's the Koob with a sports update.
After not playing since the Stanley Cup final last season, Evander Kane returns for the Oilers against the Kings in Game 2. Josh Brown and Jeff Skinner step out of the lineup with John Klingberg also stepping back in with Stuart Skinner getting the start in between the pipes. Join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30 only on EST, with the show live on location at Hudson's Bourbon Street. And from Washington, the Habs look to tie their series at 1 apiece against the Capitals, while the Stars and Avs clash in Game 3. That one tied at 1 apiece. In New York, general manager Chris Drury has signed a multi-year deal with the Rangers, being the general manager since 2021. Basketball sees 3 games, all of which are Game 2s. Miami takes on Cleveland, trailing 1-0 in the series. The Warriors look to take a 2-0 series lead on the Rockets, while the Magic battle the Celtics, with Boston winning the opening game. And trying to avoid a sweep against the Astros tonight. The Jays and Astros go at it earlier. We saw the Mets overtake the Phillies 4-3 in extra innings. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. Nick Nixon, Kings play-by-play voice, joins us after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
Overall, would you hang the loss on Knoblock?
Yes.
Just because of that
You
one
have to.
play?
Ultimately, I pin it on him because that's a coaching decision at a crucial time to put out tired players to go for the series victory in game 1. Because that's what it was. It's like, well, if we beat them here, they're going to be completely crushed.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, hope you're having a great afternoon. Big game 2 tonight between the Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. As is the custom in the McDavid-Draisaitl era, the Oilers have lost game 1 of a playoff series only thrice since 2017 when the Oilers got back into the playoffs. Have the Oilers won the opening game of the series. Remember, if you're on YouTube, click away at that thumbs up button. Huge audience participation this week, so keep clicking away. If you're not on YouTube, thanks for tuning in either through iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Maybe you're on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Maybe you're listening on a podcast in the future. We thank you for that. But if you're on YouTube or you got time to pop into the YouTube stream, click the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk. How many away are we from another plateau?
11.
Or not plateau, from another milestone.
Yeah, 11 subs away from 11.6 thousand subscriptions.
So if you haven't subscribed, get in there and do it, or encourage other people.
It's right about here on the screen.
Yes, Jay's pointing to try to point to the thumbs up button. All right, our next guest is always a joy to see whenever he comes to Edmonton, which has been a lot the last 4 years. I'm looking forward to seeing him again on Friday. He's our Voices of the Game feature for Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. More than just plywood, everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. Nick Nixon, the play-by-play voice of the Los Angeles Kings. Nick, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing? Okay, I think we could hear him. I'm not sure the audience could, because we'll just get back with Nick in a second. Nick has been calling Kings games since 1981. So when it comes to that franchise, I guess we can say he has almost seen it all. I guess missed a few years, from the late 60s to early 70s in their expansion years, but he was certainly there for...
You said 81?
Since 81.
My birth year.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, well, Nick's an incredible guy. So we're going to get him here in a second. Koob's just ironing out the technical difficulties. Evander Kane is in tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. John Klingberg is going to play as well. Jeff Skinner comes out up front, and Josh Brown. I think we knew Josh Brown was going to come out on the back end. It was just a matter of who was going to come in. So that's a quick set there. Also tonight, Canadiens and Capitals are going to drop the puck at 5. And Stars and Avalanche are going to drop the puck at 7:30 Mountain. So just the 3 games in the National Hockey League tonight. Our off-topic topic was, what instrument would you like to hear the American anthem played on this evening? Charlie going with the kazoo. That would be interesting. Oh, Scott saying the xylophone, like for an elementary school band playing the xylophone.
Glockenspiels. That'd be great. There was a saxaboom. I saw Big Uke said a saxaboom.
I don't know what that is.
I think Jack Black has played that at some of his concerts. He played it on the Jimmy Fallon show once. And just Google Jack Black saxaboom.
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 So is it a saxophone?
It's a children's toy. It's a children's toy. And it's a riot. He does a good job. He's a great saxoboomist.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how your work goes on the...
I'm not.
On the harmonica.
I'm terrified. I
thought
I know. Now the pressure's on.
How long have you owned that?
My wife bought this for me probably 10 years ago. Maybe
on a whim? On a lark?
on a whim. Yeah, I was, maybe to get the girls into, maybe help them with music. They all love music, so having a harmonica just makes sense.
All right, here is Oilers head coach Chris Knoblock on the return of Evander Kane.
Evander's obviously going to have some rust. He's not going to be at 100% with his game. Not to say with his health, but with his game, because of he hasn't played in about 10 months. It's going to take him for a while to get to feeling confident with the puck and moving quickly and all that stuff. But definitely one attribute, or a couple attributes, that he'll be bringing us is the physicality. He's healthy. He'll be able to finish checks, play his kind of game, and shooting the puck. There's no hesitation there. He can shoot the puck like as well as he's always been. It'll be the other things, moving his feet and getting that speed, and his hands being quick. But we certainly feel that there'll be some rust, but there'll be a lot of good things, attributes that he'll be able to bring our team, and throughout the playoffs, just continue to build on that.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to see, is how he moves. You know, you want him to get in there and be physical and hit, but if he's, not as swift as he was before the injury, then how much of a physical impact is he going to have? I mean, I'm sure, he has been practicing. I'm sure he can still fire the puck. I'm sure, I don't think the hands go away necessarily. I mean, you might need a little bit to get back up to game speed or handle a pass or whatever, but, missing some time or being a somewhat older player. I mean, Corey Perry still has hands at 39 or 40, whatever he is. So I think he'll be okay with that. But can he be that Evander Kane? Like, I guess can he be a menace? Yes. Like, can he actually get in there and crush guys and then turn around and give him a little wink or blow the kiss to the woman in the stands who's giving him the double bird and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we'll see with Evander Kane. All right, I think we got Nick. Sorry about the little glitch there. You're on with Jay and Reid. How are you doing?
Good, guys. Good to be with you again.
Yeah, thanks for checking in. My colleague, on a lighter note here, Jason Milne's gonna throw the first question at you, Nick.
Nick, honor to have you on again, obviously. I want to know, did you know about the backlash that was received across all of North America from the Game 1 harmonicas national anthem? And B, do you have any insight into what musical instrument we might be delighted with tonight during the national anthem?
Well, I think those of us in the production side of things are rooting for kazoos. Not sure we're going to see that, but I don't know. That was different, to say the least. But the Kings won. I don't know if we're going to see a repeat performance tonight. But hey, we've heard harmonicas. Why not kazoos?
Yeah, who knows? Well, we're having fun with our audience this afternoon, asking for their suggestions, and the kazoo has come up a couple of times. Somebody just played on a bunch of people playing the triangle, so we'll see what LA can come up with this evening.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Nick, you've been calling Kings games since 1981, so you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot of playoff hockey. In terms of just sheer wildness and thrills and a crazy finish, where does game one rank from the games have you called?
Yeah, well, since I've been here with the Kings, I have actually seen all 11 series between the Kings and the Oilers. And, of course, the first one was back in 1982, which was my first season, end of my first season. And that featured the Miracle on Manchester game, which still is going to rank at the top of our list here in L.A., down 5-0 and win it 6-5 in overtime. But interesting, it was a 6-5 game the other night. Kind of the way it fashioned out was a little different. This time it was the Oilers with the comeback bid. They came close. But, yeah, over the years, the Miracle on Manchester game, and then the season, Gretzky's first season in L.A., when the Kings were down 3-1 in that series, and they came back and won 3 straight to take the series in 7 games. So that Game 7, I remember, which was in L.A., was kind of special. But, boy, they played, I think, over 50 times now in the postseason, and a lot of interesting, exciting games, that's for sure.
Nick, in Edmonton, after game one, there was a lot of discussion on the play of Stuart Skinner. I was wondering, in LA, was there discussion about Darcy Kemper, who's, supposed to be a Vezina finalist, and, let in some pretty questionable goals in the third period. What was the thoughts on the play of Darcy Kemper after game one?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question Darcy's going to play, and he is the Kings goaltender in this series. As long as the Kings are on the winning side of things, I don't think there will be any entertainment of making the goaltending change. And, of course, the Kings' backup this year has been David Riddick, but Kemper has been so good. I think the other night was only the 5th time this year he's allowed more than 3 goals in a game. So that certainly was an anomaly based on what we've seen all year. But, no, I don't think there's any question that Darcy Kemper is the Kings guy for this series.
Nick Nixon joining us on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. I probably asked you this question a year ago, but I think it's still relevant because this was Jim Hiller's first full season as the head coach of the Los Angeles Kings. Look, as you know, Nick, when Todd was there, it was a lot of the 1-3-1 or whatever system you want to call it. Maybe I look at the Kings and I think, okay, they maybe don't do it exactly the same way, but they do a good job in the neutral zone. They do a good job protecting their slot. So what, if anything, is, now that it's been a full year, the biggest difference from what Todd was preaching to what Hiller is preaching?
I think with Jim coming on board and then, of course, having his first training camp last September and really the first time to change things the way he wanted to, I think the way the Kings have played this year has freed things up for the forwards to be more dangerous once they get the puck. More of an attack mode. I guess you could say it's a 1-2-2 instead of the 1-3-1 that everybody kind of complained about when they played the Kings the last couple of years for whatever reason. And, it for the most part, that worked under Todd McClellan. But Jim Hiller, I think, wanted to change things. I think the forwards are very happy with the change. A lot of Kings forwards this year had career years, very good years. Warren Fogle in that group, Quinton Byfield in that group. The addition of Andrei Kuzmenko in this schematic has certainly worked wonders, playing with Kopitar and Kempe. So, it's still a team that hangs its hat on strong defensive play. It's been that way for years, since the Jonathan Quick days, and obviously they have excelled at the defensive part of the game. I know their slot chances against were among the best in the league this year. Kemper's save percentage on those shots at or near the top all season long. So still defense, I think, reigns. Only Winnipeg had a better defensive record, but the Kings are a more dangerous team, and I think a lot of that is due to the change in philosophy of Jim Hiller. I mean, down the stretch, the trade deadline, they're averaging almost 4 goals a game, and they're still giving up just 2. So that's quite a gap. I think they're 18-5 since the trade deadline. So everything is kind of falling into place here.
Nick, this is the Voices of the Game segment for Windsor Plywood Leduc, and you certainly would exemplify that. This is your 44th season as the voice of the Kings, of which you've decided that this will be your last. I wanted to ask, is it safe to say that this version of the Stanley Cup playoffs will hit a bit different for you?
Well, we'll find out. It might be if the Kings are able to get out of the first round, which they haven't been able to do since they won their last cup in 2014. This is the 6th trip to the playoffs for the team, and the previous 5 have all resulted in first-round exits. So it would be nice from a personal standpoint to see this Kings team move on. And, and I think, as you all know, once you get out of the first round, it's up for grabs, especially, I think, in the Western Conference this year. So, it would be special. I mean, although some people would say, well, Nick started his first playoff series in the league against the Oilers, and, well, his last one was against the Edmonton Oilers if the Oilers were to win this series. But, I've had retirement on my radar for a couple of years. I have not, to this point, been very nostalgic about the fact that this is my last season, but maybe I will when it gets down to the point in one of these series, if not the first round or the second or whatever, where I know this could be my last broadcast. Maybe I'll be a little more nostalgic, but so far it's just business as usual, showing up and looking forward to exciting playoff hockey again.
Well, and for the past decade plus, part of business as usual for Nick has been you coming on a show hosted by me. I always appreciate that. And for the last 4 years in the spring, it's been a trip to Edmonton. Your room is ready. I'll see you on Friday.
My only regret, guys, and I think I told you this last year, Reid, when we get to Edmonton tomorrow for games 3 and 4, I think that will be our 15th trip to Edmonton in the last 4 years, and my only regret is that I didn't buy a condo 4 years ago.
Yeah, they keep going up in price.
Yeah, you would have done great.
Probably missed out on a good deal. Hey, Nick, you're an absolute gentleman. I love having you on the show, and I love when we got a chance to chat at the rink, so we'll have a chance to do that a couple times on the weekend. Always appreciate your insight. Thank you so much for hopping on the show.
All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
Right on. Nick Nixon checking in, play-by-play voice for the Los Angeles Kings. Awesome guy. I think his personality and his professionalism and the fact that he doesn't take himself too seriously either, but loves his job, all comes through there. Voices of the Game presented by Windsor Plywood Leduc, and obviously a keen observer of the team. And he talked about, with the Kings, as we've seen, still defense first, great at protecting the slot, Kemper with a good save percentage. But he made a good point. Like, don't forget, there's been some offensive players, Warren Fogle included, who have scored more than ever before in their careers under Jim Hiller. So, quick tee up from him for the game tonight.
Yeah, I love talking to Nick. I mean, it would just be awesome to share a plane ride from LA to Edmonton with him and just pick his brain, have story time with Nick Nixon. The stories he would have would just be incredible.
Yeah. Doing it a long time. One of the best ones. Absolutely. All right. Jay and I are camped out in the banquet studio. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see their great logo on the screen in between us. Celebrate your birthday at the banquet bar. Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. And also keep poking away. Click, click, click that thumbs up button on YouTube. We have already sailed past 100. Woo! So let's set another minimum at, like we did on Monday, at 200 and then we wound up getting to about 330. But let's set 255 as another good plateau for the show today. Everybody get in there and click right away. Don't delay. Do it before you forget. Do we have a winner?
No.
I want to do the clue closer to 4.
Okay, sir.
I want to do the second clue closer to 4. Okay, the first clue was loss.
There you go.
Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game, in case anybody missed it earlier or you're still thinking about it. There have been guesses submitted. Obviously not a winner because you would have said if somebody won.
There have been guesses. And there's lots of discussion about the off-topic topic.
The off-topic topic for William Huff is, what instrument would you like to hear the American anthem played on tonight? We'll get to some of those as well. Here comes Zachary Kubusch. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
Evander Kane is back in the Oilers lineup after missing the entire season recovering from core and knee surgeries. John Klingberg also makes his way back into the lineup. Josh Brown and Jeff Skinner being scratched as Stuart Skinner gets a start in Game 2 against the Kings. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live from Hudson's Bourbon Street with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas teeing up the action 90 minutes before puck drop at 6:30, only on EST. And two other games are on tap. Game 2 between the Caps and Canadians shakes down Washington up 1-0, while Dallas visits Colorado looking to take a 2-1 series lead. In New York, general manager Chris Drury has signed a multi-year deal, being in that position since 2021. On the court, the Warriors and Rockets play Game 2. Golden State up 1-0, while the Heat trail in their series, with the Cavs entering Game 2 as Boston and Orlando tip off in the second game of that series. Boston up 1-0. From Houston, the Jays look to avoid a series sweep from the Astros. 10 more games on tap tonight, including the Cubs and Dodgers facing off. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit GalloLLP.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches, to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
All right. We have Shania Twain in the nasty chat, and this is what she says.
Let's go, girls.
We certainly are going. That was the Click Remax Remax. Sorry, I'm trying to. Jody Shelley's just confirming something for his hit at the top of the hour.
Hey, he's coming up on the show, you know.
Yeah, he just was asking me about just confirming something for the hit coming up.
Just say no harmonica questions.
He does not have to play an instrument. Oilers and Kings, so 8:00, and actually tonight the conventional start time 8:10 face off.
Wow, that's an early one.
Because if you say 8, you assume 8:07, 8:10. 7:30, you assume 7:35, 7:40. When you say 8:00, you don't assume 8:22 like it was the other night.
Well, Gene's got to have his time.
But this one I was told 8:10. I would imagine probably because there's only the one other Canadian game, so no overlap like we had the other night, right? Because there was the Canadians and the Jets playing.
Mm-hmm.
Jets don't play tonight, so Canadians Capitals at 5, Stars Avalanche at 7:30, Oilers Kings at 8:00. I didn't get to see quite as much as I was hoping to last night of the games. Just got caught up doing some other stuff. But the Leafs win again, though they survived a pretty strong push from Ottawa.
Sure did, yeah.
A lot being made of the failed back checks by the Senators on the game-winning goal. Because really, that was a 2-on-4 and a couple of, I guess, I wouldn't say flybys per se, but attempts to check the puck and not the man, perhaps.
Yes.
And then Domi with a good shot. But I'll say it again, like the Leafs are really good, man. Like I know they took a punch from Ottawa last night, but they still won. And that Benoit that helped make the play, like that's their sixth defenseman. I mean, there are not a lot of holes in that Leafs lineup. I know this is alarming to people, but I feel like, do I have to start preparing people for the possibility of a Leafs Stanley Cup win? I think this is the best. I'll say this: this is the best Toronto Maple Leafs team of my lifetime.
Whoa.
I know they had some good ones. I know they've been to conference finals. Maybe Ottawa's going to rally. I did predict Ottawa would push them. I said Leafs in 7. Still could be, quite easily. But this is, now, for the first about 20 years of my life, the Leafs were quite bad. I think this is the best Leafs team. Like, they find a gaping hole in that lineup.
I'm interested to see, tomorrow night, that game's going to be on 7 Eastern, 5 o'clock. We'll have it on the ESTV.
Yep.
Just the atmosphere at the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa for the Senators, who have not been in the playoffs for a long time.
They're going to be shot out of a Roman candle.
It'll be electric. And I love that. I'm here for all that. I don't care where it is. But Winnipeg, the whiteout in Winnipeg, I wonder what it's going to look like in Ottawa. I just love that. And then they're going to bring out the triangles or the glockenspiels and totally ruin the moment.
Which is our off-topic topic today. What instrument would you like to hear the anthem played on tonight in Los Angeles?
Danny T says, I don't know what that is. On a hammered dulcimer?
This is the thing. People are going to suggest. There are a lot of people who know a lot about music.
Yeah.
They're going to suggest things that we don't even know what the instrument are.
A hammered dulcimer?
I've seen the harp come in a couple times. That would be fun.
I've seen this now twice. Bronco Nick says, I would like to hear the pan flute played by Zamfir.
Oh, Zamfir. He's classic.
Who's that?
Have you seen Kill Bill?
No.
Okay. You've heard Zamfir.
Have I?
Yes. I'd heard of him before Kill Bill came out, but he's used for one of the fights where I think his music comes in sporadically throughout Kill Bill.
What's a pan flute? Is it different than a flute?
I think it's one of those that has a bunch of different, it looks like a bunch of sticks together. I think, yes.
Like you can,
but you don't play it that fast. It's slower. I believe that's what the pan flute is.
Well, I'm here for the pan flute.
Yeah.
Late Night Lenny, and this would just bring this would stop the show in a bad way, I think. A 6th grade class on their recorders. Oh. Have you ever had to?
I had to learn the recorder in school, such as it was.
Each year, a different daughter of mine brings home the recorder.
And you're like, I'm taking this year off from being a dad.
Yeah. See ya.
I'm living in the root cellar.
And Ed from Edmonton also says anthem played by recorders. Oh.
Yeah, recorders coming up a lot. I've seen a lot of, maybe not a lot of, but a few Will Ferrell on the cowbell,
yeah.
because what was that? The Blue Oyster Cult sketch with Christopher Walken.
Give me more cowbell.
Yeah. Walken. Christopher Walken, side note, my mom's favorite actor of all time.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
I wonder why. Wonder what movie,
I think she just thinks he's a brilliant talent.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think he is too.
Yeah, he is.
Collingwood Rob, national anthem played on the rim of glasses with water. I like that.
Oh, that's a good one. That is
really
a good one.
Yeah.
I would actually like to see that.
That would be entertaining.
Because you could actually have different notes.
Yeah.
Because your harmonica,
yes,
it's all the same note. Is that what I understand?
Well, it's tuned to the key of C. So that's why, it's...
So can we hear the start of O Canada again?
You sure
So Jay,
can.
hoping that OEG notices and asks him to perform O Canada on Sunday, Game 4.
That's all I got right now.
Our O Canada hour. Home is next.
Yeah, we're working. I'm gonna be annoying my daughters
You
tonight.
got about 72, 96 hours to get it done.
Yeah, it's probably the most I've played that harmonica in the last 10 years. So it's good.
Or ever.
It's getting a workout. They don't go out of tune, so
They don't?
I don't
Ever?
I don't think so.
I love.
Well, it's metal and wood. It's a wood. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, a lot of people I think triangle and kazoo are getting a lot of mentions. I like the idea of a harp. You know what they could get to do? They could get Rusty the Rooster from who played the harp on the Friendly Giants? Wasn't it the Rooster that played the harp?
I think so.
I think it was the Rooster that played the harp.
That would be so Canadian.
And Jerome the Giraffe.
Wasn't there a flute or like a whistle?
I think that Friendly Giant himself.
Yes, a wooden pipe or
did
something.
he play some sort of a recorder, basically?
Yeah, it was.
I think Rusty the Rooster played the harp, and Jerome the Giraffe, we need to know. We got another off-topic topic now.
Yeah.
What was the instrument that Jerome played? Jimmy says, is this show on until 6:30 again? It is, baby. Extended Reid Wilkins show for the 8 o'clock playoff start. So we go until 6:30. Tom and Hernan take over at 6:30 with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. And tonight they are at Hudson's on Bourbon Street in a little place known as West Edmonton Mall.
It says here that Jerome sang and participated in musical sequences. He wasn't associated with playing any specific instrument.
Okay. Was there a little band of... were there some other little animals that came in and played? Like some chipmunks or squirrels?
Rusty the Rooster played the harp, guitar, accordion.
Oh, wow. He was a regular Eddie Van Halen.
And they were the two principal puppets of said show.
Right. I just remember he had those little chairs, and he would always say, and here's a rocking chair for the one who likes to rock.
Wasn't it like a miniature set?
Yeah.
And he would move it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But he was a giant.
No, I know. I'm not.
So, but here's the thing. If he was a giant,
yes,
then
I like
Rusty would have been a giant rooster.
Massive.
Yeah, a massive rooster. And even Jerome would have been still a large giraffe. Like, I know his neck was supposed to be, but if you compare him to the size of the furniture.
Oh, a huge cock.
Like, it's massive.
Yes. Massive. One of the biggest.
What did you say?
Oh, what is a rooster?
Oh,
I'm just being literal, folks. Don't.
I was like, did you actually say that? What is happening?
Of course I did. That's what roosters are.
Was it a lute? Did anybody play the lute? I believe there was a kid on The Simpsons that played a lute.
What's a lute now?
The lute's a little...
like a ukulele?
I think it's ish, yes.
A mandolin?
The Emmett Otter Gang played everything a jug band plays. I think they were in Friendly Giant. Okay. Wow, we are covering a lot of ground here. Which is fun. We had Nick Nixon for our voices of the game. Evander Kane will play tonight for your Edmonton Oilers on a line with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman.
Yeah, we've had a dozen or so games together over the past. Two really hardworking guys. I think if we play our game and keep things simple, great opportunity to have some success together.
Somebody has texted Jay a picture of the Friendly Giant with a variety of instruments.
Well,
wow.
Yeah, like the giraffe would have been
I
enormous.
feel like maybe this has been this first hour, maybe this topic, because we've talked hockey. We had Nick Nixon on.
Sure.
We've had some Evander Kane clips. We're going to have more. We'll have Knoblock. We'll have Nugent Hopkins. We've clearly meandered with the off-topic topic and now the friendly giant topic. And a lot of people are participating. You know why? I think it's distracting people from how nervous they are about the game.
It
you know
very
what I mean?
well could
I
be.
think they're being like, okay, oh yeah, I can laugh at this. I don't have to worry about it being 2-0 tonight. And then as we get closer to game time, then it'll be a little bit more. Well, I mean, people are intense, people are nervous, but maybe this is taking their mind off their nerves a little bit. We're not going to do that all afternoon. We have plenty of Oilers-related topics for you, but we'll still try to make you laugh and
I got to lighten it up, right?
Guffaws along the way.
Dave in Section T says Jerome played nothing. He had no hands. Might have blown a harmonica on an episode, but no hands.
Well, technically, Rusty didn't have hands either.
That's
they
true.
have wings.
You can they can clasp things
to play the harp. I guess you can move your feathers.
Yes.
Well, yes, this is what I'm thinking of from Mabutsky 05. Occasionally, the giant Jerome and Rusty would move to the music room for a concert where they were joined by a raccoon and other animals. Right.
What a show that would be.
I'd pay for that. I think they're opening for Leopard at the Rock Festival in July.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
Oh, my goodness.
Game 2, Rusty the Rooster. I mean, what else do you want? Oh, Clue 2.
Yes, let's do Clue 2. Thank you for reminding me. In Hudson's Canada's Pub, mystery athlete of the game. By the way, we are 7 thumbs away from double word of the day in the first hour of the show.
Let's go.
So get in there and click the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube, or if you have time to jump into YouTube. Maybe you got a coffee break coming up, or before you clock out for the day, hop off. Stay on the audio stream, but hop into YouTube and give us the thumbs up as well. Clue number 2.
Hang on. How did you say coffee break there?
Coffee break.
No, you didn't.
What did I say
You
now?
said coffee break?
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's fun to put emphasis on different syllables.
Emphasis?
Yeah. Especially
All right.
when it's 2 different words. All right. Clue number 2 is loss.
What was clue number 1?
Loss. Clue number 1 was loss, L-O-S-S. Clue number 2 is loss, L-O-S-S. Hudson's Canada's Pub, mystery athlete of the game. You must text your guesses to the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. We're giving away a $25 GC to Hudson's. Let's do the 4 o'clock break now. Jody Shelley coming up in our next segment.
The Lock Shop.
Listen, this team knows that going back home down 0-2 is no recipe to win a series. I mean, to have to beat the LA Kings 4 to 5 times, including 2 more games in LA, is a tall task. So I think they got to have it tonight. And I think we saw just how good this team can be, even against a great defensive team like LA when the chips are down.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
Playmoregames.ca.
Jeff Skinner and Josh Brown out, Evander Kane and John Klingberg in for the Oilers as Stuart Skinner takes the crease in Game 2 against LA. And Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, they get you set for the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Gazzola live on location at Hudson's Canada's Pub on Bourbon Street at 6:30 right here on EST. Meanwhile, the Avs and Stars have Game 3. That series is tied while the Habs look to bounce back with a win in Game 2 against the Capitals. And the Rangers and general manager Chris Drury have agreed to a multi-year extension, with Drury being a part of the Rangers staff since 2015. And the NBA has a few game 2s. Boston and Orlando throw down, the Heat and Cavs tip off, while the Warriors take on the Rockets, having the Celtics, Cavs, and Warriors each taking Game 1 in their respective series. It's a full slate in baseball. Toronto rematching Houston after dropping the last 2 games in the series. 10 other games are on tap to go, including the Royals and Rockies going at it. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
It is Game 2 tonight between the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. The Oilers will try to even up the series after coming from behind, but ultimately losing in the final minute to the Los Angeles Kings 6-5 in Game 1. Evander Kane will play. Jeff Skinner comes out. We'll have more detailed discussion on that as we move through the afternoon with you until 6:30. Extended edition of the program, and John Klingberg in on the back end as Josh Brown comes out. No big surprise there. Plenty of limericks. I'll get to one right now. I love how this has become a part of the show. Bronco Nick, one of our more prolific limerick writers, says, tonight is the return of Evander Kane, skating and being the opponent's bane. Dano will cry or attempt to die, but his tomfoolery will be in vain. That is from Bronco Nick, who is predicting an Oilers 4-1 victory this evening. Let's hope so. Let's hope they can even it up coming home, and the Kings a rare loss on home ice. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Thanks for joining us, and always pleased to welcome this guy to the show, former NHLer, a lot of ties to Edmonton and area, covers the Columbus Blue Jackets on NHL Network as well. Long, just an incredible resume, really. It's my buddy Jody Shelley checking in this afternoon. Jody, how are you?
Good, Reid. I'm working on the resume, buddy, and I love the limericks. I haven't heard a good limerick in a while. So,
oh well, we have some pretty good
your show.
Yeah, we have a pretty good fan base, and like a few months ago, I wrote a few limericks, and then I said send them in. Now I don't have to write any limericks. Like we probably get 5 to 10 a day, and more during the playoffs. So it's been pretty fun. But I didn't have this in my notes to ask you this, but I'm gonna start with it before I get to my original plan, because Bronco Nick mentioned Dano in there, and you probably saw. I mean, Wallman got up high on him in the third period, but Dano made sure the head snapped back and he skates away, holding his jaw. I mean, you were in a role where you might perhaps be engaged with somebody after the whistle, like if you ever felt the guy was embellishing something you did to him, like, would you point that out to him or the referee or his teammates at some point? Yeah.
You definitely let his teammates know, and everybody knows when that happens. It's a gamesmanship thing. When it happens to you, you feel like an idiot. And like when my days ended in Columbus, when we were in Nashville, Ken Hitchcock was the coach, and I went into a scrum. We were already going down a man. So Joachim Lindstrom was already going to the penalty box. I went into a scrum at Darcy Hordichuk. I went in, he flipped his head back. I didn't even do anything. And I'm like, I look over and the ref goes, you're going to the box too. And I looked at Darcy. I thought, that is gutless. Anyways, so since Lindstrom and I were in the box together, once Nashville scored on the 5-on-3, which of course they did, I looked at Jokic and he goes, "Do you want to go or should I go?" And I look across at Hitch. I'm a veteran. He's a rookie. I'm like, "I'll go." As soon as I got to the bench, Hitch was like, "Jody, you sit right here, right in front of me the rest of the game." And I got berated and I was embarrassed. But when it happens, and I got Darcy back. I know he was a good Edmonton Oiler. I got to fight him a few times because of that. But, you know, and when it happens in playoffs, you see guys, remember guys, the players that used to make a living at this back in the 80s and 90s, and it was just, you know, they were, you know, and 2000s, Tyson Nash, hard job. He did that. It got him to the skin of the opponent. It's part of their game. Now they pay for it somewhere else down the line. That's why I think that's one of the toughest jobs, is to be that agitator and draw those power plays and skate away, or maybe stir it up. But in the case of the other night, I mean, I think he's going to be someone they should probably make sure the next time it's not an embellishment, if you will. Make sure you get your money's worth on it.
All right. And Jay's going to have a question for you related to that and cross-checking as we move along as well. But the original first question I had asked for you, because you told me a great story on my old show about your first playoff game, and that you got on the ice and you were like, "What is this?" Like, it was so much faster. So Evander Kane's coming back basically 10 months out. Landeskog's absence is measured in years. Like, these are veteran, very good players. But, like, do you think you have to temper expectations for these guys? Like, what's it like coming back after that long a layoff, jumping into a playoff game?
Well, there's a few layers there. I think it's so exciting for a locker room to have a new player back, a player that they know has been through a lot, has waited for the moment, has grinded to get back, you know, missed an entire season or a good portion of a season, or in Landeskog, you said a year. So first of all, the guys in the room will be fired up for him. He'll be excited and nervous. I don't care who you are, what player you are, how long you've been out. Coming back, you always have the nerves, because what's it going to be like? Am I going to be behind? Am I going to be too slow? Am I going to mess it up for the team? Am I going to help? Am I going to hurt? Am I going to be, make a fool of myself? That's human nature, instinct. And then add the playoffs, which is the urgency on every battle and the way that you have to play determined and, you know, not lose those 50-50 pucks are so critical. I think that coming back in the playoffs with the juice depends on the player, but I think a guy like Kane, it's very simple. He's going to try to be physical. He's going to keep it very, he's not going to be fancy, and he's going to try to play hard. And if he has that small focus, he's going to be fine. He knows he can skate. He knows he can hit. He knows he can stir it up. Will he have some finish? It doesn't matter. If he focuses on that, it's easy for him. I think Landeskog as well. He has that element to his game, which you remember, where, you know, he's got grit to him. He's got that, he can always throw the body. And I think that's what it is when you come back. You have to bring something to the shift. You have to bring something to the period. You have to bring something to the game. I think guys like that can bring it. Now, if you come back as a goal scorer, it might be harder to get that going. You put pressure on yourself. So these two players coming back, I think there's an element they can add, and that'll be a simpler thing.
Jody Shelley joining us from the NHL Network. I want to take you to last night. Now, it's my understanding you're in Minnesota now. But you are working the Vegas Golden Knights Minnesota Wild series. Puck drop around 9:15 local time in Vegas. I can imagine that can be hard on the players playing in that game, but I want to know, we care about you, Jody. So I want to know, how hard was that on you last night? I mean, how many cups of Joe did you have to get in your system to make sure you were spry and awake and happening at that lake? Like, what was that?
Jay, that's a great question. You know, it's 11 o'clock in Columbus. I'm waiting for puck drop. You're right. I think it was 11:10. The puck hits the ice. And the next thing, it was 1:45. Great game. I mean, the game was played so well. I love watching hockey. I mean, and you know, it's one of those nights last night where you look and you think, oh, that says 11:45. No, it's 1:45. Right. So that was one of those nights for me. But I knew I had a later flight today, so it was awesome. But I was thinking about everybody else, that there was a lot of complaints at that start time in the East. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. When we look at the Oilers and the Kings, I mean, the Oilers are expected tonight to start, and we know lines can change like literally 30 seconds into the game if the coach decides to. McDavid and Draisaitl together with Perry. It's an ongoing discussion on all the shows in Edmonton and at every water cooler, together or apart for these guys. You're like, you see it, you're a little more detached from it. Like, do you look at it and say, like, challenge LA to stop them? Or do you look at it and say, hold on, like, you need every line to do something if you're going to beat a team as good as the Kings?
I think in the situation right now, they need to put them together. And I think once everyone else gets going and brings an element, then they'll be better. They can split them up. But I love them together. Just think about those two guys out there on the ice, you know? They understand how the game's going to be played. The way Connor McDavid dialed it up the other night was incredible. Leon gets shots off that. I don't know how people get shots off like that. I know Hyman's another good fit with either one of those guys, but I love those two guys together. And I think you're doing LA a favor by leaving them apart. I really do. I think that now you've taken like an absolute rocket ship that's something that you've never seen before in Connor McDavid, and complimented him with Draisaitl. That is something that, I think you take something away from McDavid when you don't leave him with Draisaitl, and I think you take something away from Draisaitl, which you had a good year without McDavid, I know that, but there's a boost there, and you can always split them up. But I think leave them together right now. It puts LA on notice as a team, and then maybe the other guys can get something else going out there. It's a great ace of spades and ace of hearts to have. I'll tell you that. It's a luxury. It's a great art. You guys are having a great argument in Edmonton if that's what you're discussing, because that is a luxury. And I'm talking to you from all the other markets in the world. You guys have a luxury argument in Edmonton today.
Well, I horrified a lot of fans. So this show on this station debuted in September, Jody.
I love the digs. I love the set. I haven't been on here yet. Yeah.
You got to come in here next time you're in Edmonton if we can get you out here. We're just in the West End, by the Mayfield Dinner Theater. We're like a couple blocks away from that, West End.
I might be out at my mom's house, Reid, but
he's going to be with his family.
Well, we can come do a show.
We'll go to your mom's house.
We can go on remote. Yeah, we can go on remote.
You're welcome out there.
But that was, I remember saying that, when you're, the first day, our first show for this show was Draisaitl's contract, the extension. And I might have even been that day. I said, like, hey, still remember to enjoy, like, if one day the Oilers power play will have neither McDavid nor Draisaitl on it. And people got mad at me. They were like, I don't want to think about that. But anyway.
Enjoy every second. It's amazing.
I agree. Jody, as a former enforcer in the NHL, do you find yourself empathetic towards today's NHL players or physical players who are trying to navigate what is roughing, what is a cross check, what isn't? I mean, it seems to change from game to game, series to series. What do you think about that, given the role you used to have in the NHL?
No, I really am not empathetic. I think that's on them to figure out. We did it. It's always been one of those areas. And I think, like Wallman shouldn't have done that the other night. He got a little too aggressive. All right. He got away with it. And once you get away with it and you push again, you're probably going to get called. So smarter play on that, I think. And I think guys that engage in battles, the line is drawn early. You watch from the bench or you see a call, you got to learn from that. I think that's where you see how each game's going to be called. You look tonight, there's 4 games tonight. They'll all be refereed with the same undertone, with a little bit more, maybe a little tighter in one instance. Maybe one thing won't get called in another one. But that's the referees as well, understanding the series and the games and what's going on. So there's that element of getting, get it. And I think that that's on the player. I don't empathize with them whatsoever.
All right. I'll end on a very light note, because one of our other themes today, Jay Milne, by the way, has a harmonica inspired by the harmonica anthem in LA the other night. Do you want to show Joe?
Yeah. I'll show you what I got.
Here's the start of O Canada. He wants OEG to ask him to do Game 4 on Sunday.
I'm trying to learn
literally just the start. Don't worry. We're not going to keep You're going to have to listen to him for 20
I'm
minutes.
excited to hear this.
That's all I got.
That's it.
That's really good.
So
in front of 20,000 people, I think that would be
it's perfect.
It'd be great.
So I think there was an LA King that had a little bit of a WTF look on his face the other night during the harmonica. So when you were playing, would you and your teammates Like, would you pay attention to the anthem? I mean, would everybody say, wow, that guy was good, or wow, she killed it, or would you ever be like, oh my God, this can't end soon enough? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's part of your preparation. There's a part of remembering the guys on Hockey Night in Canada when I was 11 years old, getting ready for a game. They're rocking back and forth on the blue line, and the building's going crazy. And in Chicago, it's another level. There's no harmonica. I mean, it's one way, and it's loud. No, it's a big part of the game. You're with the fans now. You take a moment, you pay your respects, and the next thing you're doing up your chin strap and you're going. So there have been a few. The bells threw me off. Not like the harmonica, but the one that Christmas time it comes to the bells.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You kind of sit there like, that was really well done, but now we got to get ourselves fired up.
Had the juices going in the other direction.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I know you've had a busy day. You're working hard throughout the playoffs, but thank you so much for being so accommodating with your time. I love talking to you. Hopefully, if the Oilers keep going, you get assigned some games here, and I get to see you in person.
I would love that. Yeah. I would love that. I'd see Ned and Doreen, my mom and dad, and throw the steaks on the barbecue. Maybe we would have you guys out there.
Yeah,
I'd love to get assigned out there.
Hey, thanks so much, Jody. We'll talk to you soon. Really appreciate it.
Having me on. Thank you. Have a great day. Good luck. Good luck.
There you go. Jody Shelley wishing you luck. You played a harmonica for an ex-NHL player.
Wow. Dare to dream, Reid. Dare to dream.
That's Jody Shelley. I've been talking to him for years as well. He has some great stories. I kind of have a moratorium on this one because you don't want the guy to tell the same story all the time, but we might be at the point where we have to get it on. When he played in junior, he was playing for the Halifax Mooseheads, and he said like a fan threw an actual moosehead on the ice.
Oh my word!
Like I don't know how they got it in. He'll have to tell the story next time he's on. But he's great perspective. Like he has those in the moment things. So he doesn't like the embellishment, snapping the head back, but he made a good point. And we talked about this on Monday. If you're Wallman, also don't put your hands and stick up there.
Yep.
Don't give the ref a chance to make the call. But what did he say? He goes, I think you're doing LA a favor if you keep McDavid and Draisaitl apart.
Well, yeah, kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When it's said like that, you're letting them off the hook.
Yeah.
Put them together. Put the pressure on. Why not?
We expect the Oilers to start that way. The morning skate was McDavid with Draisaitl and Perry, Kane with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. You're going to hear more from Evander Kane, more from Nuge, and more from head coach Chris Knoblock as we get into the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel after the break. T-Man in the Nasty Chat says the Oilers will actually start playing in the first period tonight, especially with Kane back. D-Rock says the addition of Kane will motivate the Oilers. We hope so about that. And there's one thing you and I didn't talk about as much, Jay. I think other guys on this station talked about it, and I know I saw some other posts and articles about it. Maybe now we'll see. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for the Oilers. I just like talking about stuff and presenting different ideas. Like I talked about flicking the switch, but maybe given how that lineup for the Oilers had never been together before, maybe it took them 35 minutes to flick the right switch or for the power to go through to the lights, so to speak, from the switch. I mean, maybe now they got, okay, Frederick's in, McDavid and Draisaitl are back in. Wallman missed some games. Even Stuart Skinner didn't play a lot down the stretch. Maybe it took that long for it's like, okay, we're now we can give. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, very well could be.
I mean, that could be one of the stories of the series too, depending on which way it goes. If you are taking us in on YouTube, remember to click that thumbs up button. We are rolling along with 169 thumbs, which is a great.
Let's 255's in sight.
255's in sight.
We're gonna try and get above that, right?
Yeah, well, for sure.
We're gonna
well
go for
above
3.
that, but I started with 200 because I don't want to intimidate people.
Extended bonus show.
It is an extended bonus show.
Right? And if you haven't subscribed yet, we are very close to 11.6 thousand subscribers. So click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and tell your friends.
Tell everybody.
Tell everybody. Tell your enemies.
Sports Talk. Tell everybody.
Yeah.
Check out the station. We have, we have more live Oilers pregame coverage than anybody else. And then we also have a post-game show that's on after the game with the excellent Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. I'm jumping on. I've got Reed's for the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club.
Yeah, I love that.
After every game. So we're doing a lot of great stuff to keep you informed.
We're going to be 6 a.m. till what? 12:30?
Yeah, well, no, we're not on during the game. That's it.
Right.
Well, everybody goes and
pretty
watches
darn
the
good.
game. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And you can get in touch. I mentioned YouTube. We have the chat there. If you're new, that's what we call the nasty chat. It's the chat feature on YouTube. You do not have to be a nasty person. You do not have to be nasty. That's just, I think Dustin started calling it that.
Yeah.
Back at 1260. So that's what we call the nasty chat. But you can jump in there. And that's a good way to meet other people too, who are taking in the station or maybe who've been listening for a long time. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Here's an email for a limerick, I should say, from Jeff in YYZ. For Game 2, Oilers' loins they gird. Limericks read, this is my third. Play in close on Kemper, he loses his temper. Oiler players flip LA the bird.
Ooh,
that's pretty good.
That's very good.
Some good language in that one. So that's emailing Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
I got one emailed to me just during the show.
Do it.
Let's do it. Die-hard Oil fan, though I live out in Ladner. So pumped to finally cheer on Evander. Will the anthem amuse with a choir of kazoos? Oh, how I tend to meander.
That's pretty good.
Very good, RC.
That's very good. That is a text to the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. 780-218-9999. That's where you can also send your maximum of 3 guesses for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. We'll have clue number 3 probably within about a half hour or so. We're going to dive into the Oil Understood when we get back.
After not playing since the Stanley Cup final last season, Evander Kane returns to the Oilers lineup against the Kings in Game 2. Josh Brown and Jeff Skinner step out of the lineup with John Klingberg stepping back in. Stuart Skinner gets the start. Join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30, 90 minutes before puck drop. Only on EST. The show will be live on location at Hudson's Bourbon Street. From Washington, the Habs look to tie their series at 1 apiece with the Capitals, while the Stars and Avs clash in Game 3. That one tied at 1 apiece. In New York, General Manager Chris Drury has signed a multi-year deal, being the team's general manager since 2021. Basketball has 3 games, all of which are Game 2s. Miami takes on Cleveland, trailing 1-0 in the series. The Warriors look to take a 2-0 lead on the Rockets, while the Magic battle the Celtics, with Boston winning the opening game. And trying to avoid a sweep, the Jays meet the Astros with 9 other games on tap in the MLB. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. They got doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The Oil Understood for GCL Diesel brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries, all at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah. That's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner.
So I just want to confirm, Jay, because you're keeping an eye on this, and thank you for doing that. Because for me to have another additional tab open on my computer might blow out the power grid. Nobody has won Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game.
Let me double check. No.
Negatory. Okay. We'll give the clue. Remind me at 4:40, I guess, for the third clue. When we take the 4:40 break.
Okay.
Or Koob, if I forget and Jay forgets, then you have to remember. Okay?
Yeah. See? He doesn't even know what you're talking about.
Koob doesn't even know we have a show. Koob's like, I don't know, they make me sit with these two old guys from 3 to 6 every afternoon. I don't even know what they're doing.
I busy myself on my computer.
Sorry, guys. I'm just playing Wordle.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. All right. Thanks a lot for checking out the program. We're with you until 6:30. Then at 6:30, Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas take over the stream with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, Oilers and Kings Game 2 at 8. And I have confirmed it is an 8:10 puck drop tonight. So you don't have to have, 12 minutes earlier than the other night. So, though again, as I was saying yesterday, that game felt like it was about a 7-hour game the other night, given everything that happened in it. So anyway, let's dive into the Oil Understood, as always, presented by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. Okay. So the headline for the Oilers today is that Evander Kane is in. He is in. He took the morning skate on left wing with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Kane was asked about the toughest part about getting back into action here.
I don't know. I'm not really thinking about that at all. Just thinking about what I'm going to do to try to help the team win, and not really think it's my first game. It's the playoffs. It's game 2. We're down 1-0 in the series, so the thinking is not going to help me.
Well, he kind of got a chuckle out of that, but I think we know what he meant. Thinking about, we talk all the time about the mental game for these athletes, the mental side of it, how confident they are. He's not thinking about how difficult it could be. He's not thinking about what could go wrong. Jody Shelley was just on with us. He said, how excited will he be? Landeskog, other players returning from a long absence is going to be. How excited might the teammates be?
Yeah.
Right, to see a guy back. That, and in this case, the Oilers know getting a guy back who they know can make an impact, who they've seen make an impact as their teammate in the postseason, right? This isn't, we called up some guy that we know nothing about and he's never played in the NHL. I mean, this is an experienced player. So I think it's more excitement than within that dressing room. I would think it's a lot more excitement and confidence than it would be out here in the real world, perhaps.
Well, and don't overthink the situation. Don't overthink it and overanalyze it and do too much or try to insert yourself too much. Just do what you naturally can do, what you've done before, and just let it come naturally to you.
Do you think he's, here's a side note for you. What line do you think starts the game?
Oh, well, I mean, how can you not start it with Draisaitl, McDavid, and Perry, right?
Yeah, I just wonder what Knoblock, maybe I'm overthinking this.
Maybe you are. Maybe you should take that advice and just Reid, you've been doing this a lot of years. Just let it come to you naturally.
Does he start with Draisaitl, McDavid, and Perry and say, okay, here are the guys who...
here you go.
I mean, I guess they weren't on the ice for the Janmark goal. Here are two guys, and well, Perry was involved in some of them too, but here's basically the line that got 4 goals in... Well, really, if you look at when the goals were scored, they got 4 goals in about 19 minutes.
Yep.
Because they scored with 6 seconds left in the first, And then McDavid's tying goal was, a minute 46 or 36 or something like that, right?
Yep.
So here comes the line that scored 4 goals in the last 20 minutes and 6 seconds of the game. I'm going to start the line with them. Or do you say, here's the line with Kane back, and he's going to be eager to run someone through the glass, and then I'm going to put out this line?
I just think you need to set the tone and say, here's the big boys. Here's someone you're going to see a lot of tonight. Get ready, buckle up.
I think you're probably right. He probably starts Draisaitl, McDavid, and Perry.
I'm not.
I mean, given he put them out in that final minute, as we were talking about the final minute of Game 1 when they gave up the game-winning goal. But
I would be okay with both, but I think you just need to send the message that this is it. This is what you're going to have to deal with all game.
Yeah.
Get used to it, bruh.
Well, and I think that probably I would not be surprised if Hyman gets some shifts with Draisaitl and McDavid. I would also not be surprised if Draisaitl and McDavid get some shifts apart, perhaps with whoever else is playing well.
Sure.
If Arvidsson and Podkolzin are playing well, Janmark's not going to center that line the entire night. No. Draisaitl, McDavid will get some shifts there. That's what I said yesterday, that I wondered if they might go 11-7 and play both Klingberg and Dineen, just to have a bigger security blanket on defense, and then just know Draisaitl, McDavid are playing 25, 26 minutes with each other, with other wingers, with whoever.
Well, and
that could still wind up happening,
right.
obviously.
Well, and here's the thing too. I mean, this was the team that didn't wake up till 6 seconds left in the second period.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and establish what game and what style you want to play tonight, which is fast paced, scoring chances. I mean, can you imagine if the Oilers can get up early, get on the board early? Establish that. Why not? Take a chance at it and come out of the gates as fast as you can, because they need to start fast. They cannot start the same way they did.
Well, and they need to put some pressure on LA.
Stay out of the box early, too.
Stay out of the box.
Yes.
I mean, we can debate the Kulak penalty all you want. There was a bit of a hold there.
It was what it was.
It was what it was. It was called. They didn't kill it off. I mean, look, I know the regular season games don't now seem like ancient history, but I do think it's worth considering that the Los Angeles Kings have not played from behind against the Edmonton Oilers in a heck of a long time. 3-0, 5-0, and then last game. Well, now maybe the Kings felt like they were behind when it was 5-5, but the scoreboard still said 5-5, and they only needed 1 goal to win the game. And yes, this is a more potently offensive team, perhaps, than the teams of Kings past. Whatever I'm saying,
the ghosts of Kings
past. But still, it'd be nice to put some pressure on them to say, okay, you don't have the luxury here of playing with a lead, or you don't have the luxury of feeling like, okay, if the Oilers get one, it stretches the lead as opposed to pulling them back into the game.
Nicholas in the nasty chat brings up a good point, something I want to get your response on. How far can the Oilers go playing McDavid and Draisaitl 25 minutes each game, or every game? Sorry.
Well, let me check the stats from last year. That's the first thing I'm going to do.
Well, my first reaction was, healthy? I think they can do it, because they did it last year, and Leon Draisaitl was not healthy.
Here's, first of all, I think that's a good question. I don't want to downplay that. That is a good question. Fatigue is real, even for athletes who are in incredible shape. I was listening using the iHeartRadio app to the Toronto Maple Leafs game because I was in my car, so I heard a lot of the second period, Joe Bowen doing the call, and then I was driving again, and I was listening to their post-game show, and one of the guys mentioned that Austin Matthews blocked 5 shots. And they said, good on Matthews for being in that playoff mentality, but you don't necessarily want him blocking 5 shots every game if they wind up playing 24 games or whatever. So I get that. But having said that, these guys usually play a lot. Last year in the playoffs, Bouchard led the Oilers in ice time 25:01 a game. McDavid played 23:02. Ekholm played 21:58. Hyman played 21:25. Then Draisaitl played 21:24. So that's a fair question, and 25 might be the upper end of that.
Yeah,
But I think these guys can handle it. I think the star players are used to it. I mean, Drew Doughty plays a ton. Makar plays a lot. Like some guys are just used to it. I think that when you look at ice times, when you start getting into the mid or even high 20s, it might be a bigger issue if a player usually doesn't do that. And that's, and look, Kulak's had a great year, but that might be a question about him. What if he has to play 26 and then 27 and then 23, whereas usually most of his career he's been, he might be at 22, 18, 20, depending on how the defense score is built. So I do think that's a good question, but I guess my short answer would be it wouldn't concern me as much as it would with other players.
And I may have a little bit of an answer for this question, but we're going to get to it when we go buying or selling for Damon Bunting Real Estate at 5:20. So stay tuned for that, because there's some other things that need to happen here in order to remedy that.
Right. So up front, McDavid, Perry, and Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Kane, and Hyman, Henrique between Frederick and Brown, Janmark, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson based on the morning skate. So Jeff Skinner does come out. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on. Nurse with Bouchard, Wallman with Klingberg, Kulak with Emberson, and then Skinner, the starting goaltender, Calvin Pickard, the backup. Tonight, Chris Knoblock commenting on the return of Evander Kane.
Evander's obviously going to have some rust. He's not going to be at 100% with his game. Not saying with his health, but with his game, because of he hasn't played in about 10 months. It's going to take him for a while to get to feeling confident with the puck and moving quickly and all that stuff. But definitely one attribute, or a couple attributes, that he'll be bringing us is the physicality. He's healthy. He'll be able to finish checks, play his kind of game, and shooting the puck. There's no hesitation there. He can shoot the puck as well as he's always been. It'll be the other things, moving his feet and getting that speed, and his hands being quick. But we certainly feel that there'll be some rust, but there'll be a lot of good things, attributes that he'll be able to bring our team, and throughout the playoffs, just continue to build on that.
And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins commenting on getting Kane back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously brings good energy out there. We know what type of player he is, so we're excited to have him back. We know he's excited, so just got to get those first ones out of the way and make sure that we try to help him out as much as possible.
How do you help out a guy that hasn't been in the lineup for a year?
Just talk on the ice, on the bench a little bit, but obviously he's done it for a long time, so I don't expect to have to help too much. He knows how to go out there and play the right way. So, I mean, if anything, just talk and try to help that way.
A little bit there from the Nuge, who I think will have to be more noticeable tonight. Jay Milne and I coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends. Get real, play hard at the Banquet. All right. Clue number 3 in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Remember, we only accept guesses that are texted in to the River Cree Resort and Casino hotline, 780-218-9999. You must text your guesses. The third clue is loss, L-O-S-S. So recapping the clues. Clue number 1, loss. Clue number 2, loss. Clue number 3, loss. Somebody will get it now.
I don't know.
No, somebody will get it now.
Do you think so?
Yes. I think somebody's getting it now.
Okay.
Or in the next few minutes. If not, we'll give clue number 4.
Well, I accidentally signed out of my YouTube account while I was trying to switch. I have to switch over to the EST main account.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. To post this, so it goes yellow. People can see yellow better.
All right. Well, we'll talk more about Jeff Skinner coming out, and we're going to talk, as Jay mentioned, about which Oilers players we think got to step up tonight, especially in the wake of Game 1 and their roles on the team. We're at 190 thumbs up on YouTube, so keep clicking away at that. We should be at 200 by the time we get back from this break.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right. There we go. We want to get to at least 255 today. We got our Play More Tables and Games Game of the Night coming up as well. Extended show today. We're with you until 6:30. Here's a sports update with Zachary Kubusch.
Evander Kane makes his season debut for the Oilers in Game 2 against the Kings. John Klingberg steps back in for Edmonton with Stuart Skinner getting the call in between the pipes. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live from Hudson's Bourbon Street. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas tee up the action 90 minutes before puck drop at 6:30, only on EST. And two other games are on tap. Game 2 between the Caps and Canadians shakes down Washington up 1-0, while Dallas visits Colorado looking to take a 2-1 series lead. And in New York, general manager Chris Drury has signed a multi-year extension with the Rangers, having Drury be manager of the team since 2021. On the court, the Warriors and Rockets play Game 2. Golden State up 1-0, while the Heat trail in their series with the Cavs entering Game 2 as Boston and Orlando tip off in the second game of their series. Boston up 1-0. In Houston, the Jays look to avoid a series sweep against the Astros, with the Orioles and Nationals just about to get underway. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca. We're back after a brief intermission here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Oh, hope you're having a great afternoon. Oilers Kings tonight. Game 2. It's in Los Angeles, back at Rogers Place for games 3 and 4, Friday and Sunday, respectively. It'll be an 8 o'clock game on Friday, a little earlier on Sunday, 7:30, as these teams, of course, are meeting for the 4th consecutive season. Kelvin in the Nasty Chat, why is every clue loss? Well, I think that's for everybody to figure out. Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Clue number 1, loss. Clue number 2, loss. Clue number 3, loss. Do we have a winner?
It's a great question.
We do not have a winner.
No.
Okay. Has anybody guessed that one person I thought they would guess?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
2
people have guessed that person.
Yes.
Those people should keep listening. Well, I mean, everybody should keep listening, hopefully as long as possible. Give us the thumbs up on YouTube. Almost at 200. We want to try to get to 300, but 255 certainly our minimum. So keep clicking away on an Oilers game day with extended coverage here until 6:30 on the Reid Wilkins Show. Limerick coming in from very radical Montenegro. Didn't I say what does the VR stand for? Very radical, apparently. Nasties come out tonight to Hudson's Pub. Pivotal Game 2, grab drinks and some grub. Tommy seats the guests and takes song requests. DJ Buffet B, win yeah in the club. I don't think I read that with the proper inflection.
Can you show me?
Yes. How do you say that? DJ, is it Buffet or Buffett B?
Buffet.
DJ,
He's the Buffet Bandit.
Oh, right. Win, yeah! In the club. I think that's what he meant.
Yeah! I think you nailed it. I wrote a limerick, eh?
You wrote one?
Yeah.
Can we hear it?
Do you want to hear it?
Of course I want to hear it.
Okay. I'm a little nervous. Been a while. Evander Kane draws in. Poor Jay Skins might lose his grin. Harmonicas were dreadful. Tonight should be eventful. Is Reid's favorite dog a min pin?
What is that?
Miniature pincher.
Oh, is that what they're called?
Min pin.
I didn't know that.
There you go. Now you learned something from my limerick.
I really have learned a lot today.
Me too.
It's quite beautiful.
It's actually a journey of life, brah. It's a life choice.
The circle of life.
To learn.
Box Pounder says, Reid butchered it, VR. Big Uke says, great work, VR. Delivery was suspect. Thank you. People are going to have to start sending in their audio. They're recording themselves. Reading their own limericks. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, that might open up a can of worms.
Well, we would have to vet ahead of time for sure. Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely. Okay. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com is the email. That's mine. Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com is his.
We're at 199
for thumbs. Let's keep going. Let's keep clicking away. No need to wait.
200. Look at that.
Get it done. Well, went to 200. Sweet.
Back down to 199.
Yeah, what does it change?
Because some people forget that they've already clicked. So when they go to re-click, it takes away their original click.
Oh, it cancels it. Okay. Yeah. All right. It's kind of like if you score in hockey, but the puck bounces out, it's not a goal. That's not true.
I wish it were.
Time to get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. So look, obviously fired up for Evander Kane's return. I think most people in a positive way. I know that there are some people fired up in perhaps a less positive way, in an even angry way, about the scratching of Jeff Skinner, who will come out of the lineup tonight. Trent Frederick will remain in. I guess we talked about him as maybe being another option. Here is head coach Chris Knoblock on why Jeff Skinner is removed.
Roles and responsibilities, we only need so many guys to be on the power play. We only need so many guys to play top six with skilled positions. We need guys to be able to kill penalties. Jeff doesn't kill penalties, so there's nothing against Jeff's game the other night. It was just we are putting in a banner tonight. We had to take somebody out, and everyone's got a role.
Jay, what do you think of that?
I think it is what it is. I mean, that's been the Achilles heel for Jeff Skinner all year, is his lack of defensive productivity. He's not playing on the PK. I mean, he was -2 last game, right? So this is the odd man out, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Janmark would be the other player. I think you could say it was probably between those two, right? Unless
I'm not so sure about that, actually.
Okay, maybe Frederick. You know, if he's not,
especially if Frederick's not 100%,
right?
Which we suspect I think a lot of guys aren't 100%. We suspect maybe Frederick is further away than everybody would like. Anyway,
well, you know, it doesn't hurt in any sport or at any stage of your athletic career to be a bit of a Swiss Army knife and have the ability to play different roles at different times, and that is what I think led to this decision for Jeff Skinner to sit out.
I agree it's not totally fair. I think people know how I feel about fairness. You probably shouldn't expect it. You know, I think that you could have made an argument that Skinner should have stayed on a line with Brown and McDavid to start the last game.
Well, there you go.
I thought Jeff Skinner played better than Connor Brown last game, quite frankly.
But he wasn't given that opportunity last game. Right?
Right. So if they're not taking out penalty killers, then Podkolzin doesn't come out. And I wouldn't say it was a great game by him either. But I mean, he played all 82 games in the regular season. If you're not taking out penalty killers, then I guess... And look, I know I criticize Nuge. I think other people have as well. I'm only going to bring up players who might possibly be scratched, because even if Nuge plays bad, he's not getting scratched, right?
No.
So Brown, Podkolzin, Janmark kill penalties. And quite frankly, if you base it on the last game, Janmark absolutely deserves to play tonight.
Yes.
I think last game, after McDavid and Draisaitl, Perry and Janmark were the two next best Oilers forwards. Frederick, I know a texter wrote it into Tom the other night. The guys talked about it yesterday, that it perhaps didn't look like he is overly comfortable skating and turning as he should be. But he's staying in the lineup, and it's hope that he can be... I do think that one of the more concise things that that Bowman said on trade deadline day was... asked why they acquired Frederick, was he said, we have a lot of similar types of players at forward. So we need somebody who can do something a little different. And with Frederick, it's maybe mix it up or muck it up a little bit. So I think for that reason, he stays in. So Arvidsson, I guess, could have come out, but he hasn't really come out all year. I know Jeff Skinner was credited with 5 hits last game. I don't play as much. I don't put much stock in the hit stat, as people know. I do think blocked shots and faceoffs, those can be measured. So unfortunately, it's Jeff Skinner, and I think what Knoblock said is he doesn't play on special teams. He's not needed on the power play because they have guys that play almost the full power play. And he doesn't kill penalties. And I thought there were times in the regular season where I was a little surprised Jeff Skinner was the guy coming out. I didn't think he played well on Monday. I didn't think he was physically enough involved. I didn't think he was creating much. I know he did get an assist, but he probably would have been, if Frederick can go, which apparently he can, in this situation, he probably would have been my choice. I can't say that all the time during the regular season when he got brought out. But yeah, it is sort of a situation as where does he really fit? Because he was supposed to, maybe here's another way to look at it, everybody. And this just sort of occurred to me. I mean, the thinking was when these guys were signed was that Jeff Skinner would round out the top 6 and be the 6th best forward on this team. Really, if you look at the top 6 being rounded out, Arvidsson, for the most part, has fallen out of it. But now you're getting Kane back, and Perry has outplayed almost everybody else who was... I mean, you could even argue Perry had a better season than Hyman, even though he didn't get as many goals. So what's happened is that the old warhorse, the old worm, has outperformed players who were supposed to keep him in the bottom 6 as a support veteran. That's kind of what's happened.
It's a fair point.
Or I guess that's one of the things that's happened. No, I would agree. Arvidsson has, been underwhelming much of the time. But he and Podkolzin have kind of become a pair on a line, whether you like that or not. Tonight they're listed as 4th liners with Janmark at center.
What was the line last year in the playoffs, Reid, that broke out for the Oilers?
Brown.
Yep.
Janmark.
Yep.
And Henrique were very good and killing penalties.
Right. Now you have Trent Frederick inserted into that line. So it's Henrique centering Frederick and Brown.
Right.
They have not played together once.
Good point.
But you still have Janmark on the 4th line driving that line at center. It's almost like Skinner was just a byproduct of, and the more and more I think about this, Reid, I think you're right with Frederick. That was the other option. And when you're in a gritty playoff series and you have a guy like Trent Frederick, who, I mean, wasn't noticeable either way, really, last game.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe you're trying to find some chemistry on that line and see if that line can get buzzing, because they're going to need all the depth they can get. They have to. Otherwise, the series is not going to be a long series.
But I got to go back to something you very astutely brought up last week, is that Connor Brown was a first-round scratch last year.
Mm-hmm.
So this doesn't mean that, if the Oilers advance, or it doesn't mean Jeff Skinner's done for the postseason just because he's not playing tonight. But Kane's coming back. We'll see how he does. We'll see how healthy the team is. But I know, I understand that we have people listening who want Jeff Skinner to play.
Sure.
But you can't, the special teams argument to me can't be argued against. He's not on the power play and he doesn't kill penalties. So that's something that is against him right away.
100%.
Now, if you're saying if you were the coach, you'd take out Arvidsson or whoever, that's fine. But he doesn't play special teams and he doesn't kill penalties. And I know the PK needs to be better. It's interesting talking about the PK last game because they got scored on a couple of times. They also killed off a 2-minute 5-on-3.
Yeah.
Like if the Oilers would have won that game, we wouldn't be talking about the 2 power play goals they allowed. We'd be talking about they killed off a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. That would have allowed LA to probably put the game away. So anyway, it's, I don't know. Skinner's almost become one of these topics that it's, I mean, you believe one thing or the other about the player and his opportunity. And you're probably not going to change your mind. But the coach has given his reason for him not being in the lineup. I'm not saying you have to agree with it, but he's given his reason.
Yep.
Like if the Oilers lose tonight, will we be saying they missed Jeff Skinner?
No.
Probably not.
No. You wouldn't look at it and say, that was the piece that was missing. Because even for the pro Skinner group, what is his role? Who is Jeff Skinner?
Well, he still gets points. I mean, he still finds ways to get points. Generally.
But you're a hockey player. That's part of the job.
True.
Right? I mean, that's part of the expectation. That's not really that's not his role or what he brings. Oh, he's one of the top goal scorers for the Oilers or point getter. He's just there, right? Floating in the ether.
All right. Give us the thumbs up if you're watching us on YouTube. We're over 200. We need another 50 to get to 200, and which would be a great mark for us once again. And I'm going to give clue number 4 right now in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. You're trying to win a $25 GC to Hudson's. By the way, Tom Gazzola is at Hudson's tonight for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows. The pre-game show will start at 6:30. Hudson's West, did I say Hudson's West Edmonton Mall? Hudson's Bourbon Street?
Bourbon Street.
Clue number 4 is win.
Can you remind everybody of the other clues?
The clues are loss, 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 win. Those are the 4 clues. For sure, somebody's going to get it now. I mean,
this does narrow it. Yeah,
this does narrow it.
I wonder for that small crowd that was guessing who you thought might. Maybe that'll awaken.
Yeah, I think it'll be an awakening for people. Okay, 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. That's how you text in your guesses. We have our game of the night. We'll keep chatting about. Our next Oilers discussion is going to be which player do you most need to step up tonight, based on his Game 1 performance or perhaps lack of it. That's after the 5 o'clock break.
The EST Hangout.
Shinsky had a good point with Dusty and Eric. He said that in that game, even though the Oilers didn't get the result, it was kind of a half win for them. That's the term Greg used. The Oilers ultimately found out that, oh yeah, this is just the same Kings team that we faced the last 3 years in the playoffs. But you got to go out there, execute. You can't be passing pucks right into the slot. You got to pick up your man in front. Evan.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Jeff Skinner and Josh Brown are healthy scratches. Evander Kane and John Klingberg in for Game 2 for the Oilers as Stuart Skinner takes a crease against LA. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas get you set for the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Gazzola live on location at Hudson Canada's Pub on Bourbon Street at 6:30 right here on EST. Meanwhile, the Avs and Stars have Game 3. That one is tied, while the Habs look to bounce back with a win in Game 2 against the Capitals in moments. And a trio of Game 2s on the court, including Orlando and Boston kicking things off, with the Celtics taking Game 1. Down south, the Lions have made Kirby Joseph the highest paid safety in NFL history, as the two parties have agreed to a 4-year, $86 million contract. In baseball, Toronto and Houston rematch. Bowden Francis takes the ball for the Jays. And right now, there's 2 games live. Mariners leading the Red Sox 1-0 in the first inning. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update. The final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
It is a game day. A very musical Jason Milne, along with me, Reid Wilkins, here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. If you can't see us on YouTube, Jay was just playing the keyboard.
Was that a keyboard or a synthesizer or an organ?
Sure, all of the above.
I like an organ.
And so that was sort of that was miming, but you do have an actual harmonica in studio.
I do, right here.
How's O Canada coming along? I think let's get an update. It's been about an hour since you played it.
Here's the update.
Uh-oh, what? You've lost it.
Oh, I'm upside down.
What's
upside down.
Sorry. When are you going to work on the rest?
Probably later, bro.
Not on air.
Not on air.
So our off-topic topic for William Huff was on what instrument would you like to hear the anthem played tonight at the LEA game after they had the harmonicas the other game? Certainly the leaders have been kazoo.
Saxaboom.
Saxaboom was up there. You had to show me what a saxaboom was. A lot of kazoo.
And
Triangle was up there. The pan flute was suggested, but I think kazoo got the most suggestions.
It did, and that leads me to our second random instrument that I prepared for Reid.
Okay, so this is where I have to. So this reminds me a little bit of Oilers Kings, by the way, at 8 o'clock, of course. Washington, Montreal, about to get underway. We'll have our game of the night for Play More Tables and Games in a couple of seconds. This reminds me on Inside Sports, Kellen Kennedy and I, who was the studio producer for that show, he would play the sound of an animal. And I would have to, so we called it Name the Animal. And we did it everywhere from once a week to every 2 months. It was just kind of like whenever we wanted to do it. And it started when we were pretty sure that Elks was going to be the new name of the football team. So we played an elk sound, and they make quite a shrill sound. It was not what I thought at all. And then we thought, okay, for a week, let's do you play an animal, and I'll try to guess it. So for the first time we did it every day for a week, and then we would do it sporadically.
Maybe we should bring it over.
And only on a couple of occasions did I get it right on the first try. I think I got a mosquito, and I believe I got a walrus, and I have no idea how I got it. He was stunned that I got walrus. And there was once he had a dog, but then he said, no, you got to give the breed of the dog.
Oh, get out.
And I think I got that on the third or fourth. So this reminds me a little bit of Name the Animal.
Okay, so Koob, we got sound number 2. We're going to go, and this is obviously related to the harmonicas that we were blessed with for Game 1 of the Kings-Oilers series. So, Reid, name this instrument.
Well, it's something belly. Is it a xylophone?
Stick with what you first said.
I just said it's something belly. Is it the bells?
It's the bells.
Actually
it's the bells, yes.
Is this people shaking the bells or moving the bells?
In fact, Reid, this is the Cathedral Ringers. They're from the First Congregational Church of Los Angeles. I thought of them because maybe they'll show up tonight. Maybe the Cathedral Ringers will be playing the American National Anthem tonight. Wouldn't that be a treat? They're from L.A. That band, that group, the Ringers.
Vane Moretsky, I don't know if this person has ever posted in our show before, says, I'd like to hear the anthem played by somebody's armpit. That's actually a good suggestion. That's one of the better ones, I think. That's a good idea.
Yeah, those are the handbells, Dung, dung. Everybody has their one or
I
two
associate
bells.
them with Christmas, but you can play anything
as
on
do
them.
I. And do you remember what Jody Shelley said? At around Christmas time?
The bells.
And I'm thinking, oh, Jody.
Oh, no,
he gave it away.
It.
Now, the third one, we don't have to get to it now, but I'm putting I don't think you're going to get what it is. I don't think you're going to guess
I
the
think that's a
instrument.
safe bet. I think me being wrong on the show is a pretty safe bet. Is there a line on that on Cool Bet?
We could
Reid is wrong about something. It would be plus, right? No, it'd be minus.
No, you'd be plus.
I'd be plus.
Be plus probably, I'd
plus
say 225. Right, plus 225.
Okay.
A little bit of it entices you.
Oilers and LA Kings coming up at 8 o'clock. Evander Kane is back in action tonight. We haven't seen him since June 10th, Game 2 of last year's Stanley Cup Final. Kane with some observations on watching the Oilers fall in Game 1.
Yeah, I think I think it's no secret we got off to a bit of a slow start in the first 2 periods. And then Davo really powered a comeback late in the third there, which is incredibly impressive. And I think it just coming in, we understand we have to start on time and be ready to go off the hop. And we can't spot out of every single team in the league, a team like LA 4 goals. It's I don't know if we're going to be able to come back every single time like that. So, getting the lead's important. Scoring first is always nice, and I think we're going to try to look to do that tonight.
All right, Evander Kane, he will definitely be excited and looking to make an impact in this one. Thanks a lot for checking out the show. Of course, if you're on one of the apps, tune in, iHeartRadio. Remember to favorite the station. If you're on a platform where you get podcasts, sign up for the podcast for each show, the Reid Wilkins Show, the Nielsen Show, EST Afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage. We got the Oil Stream. We got 2 guys and a goalie. The Lock Shop, the Hangout. I'll be on the Hangout tomorrow from 9 to 11. That'll be fun coming in and sitting around with Matt Awanek. So sign up for all those podcasts. If you're on YouTube, remember to subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube. We are almost at a new milestone for subscriptions. So please subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube. And for today's show, keep rolling with the thumbs up. Keep clicking that thumbs up button under the screen. We need 40 thumbs to hit 255, which is our minimum goal for the day.
Can I get to a text?
Yes, please.
Came in on the River Creek Resort and Casino inbox. This comes in from Al. Reid J, I absolutely hate RNH on the second line. He has always been a poor producer, 5v5. If we look into his analytics, I think he meant to say if we look into his analytics. He has now morphed into a complimentary winger who kills penalties. His PP production also took a hit. He cannot drive a line, and this year he seems to shy away from the middle of the ice in the offensive zone. I think Henrique is a better fit between Hyman and Kane. On Skinner, Jay, you mentioned he was -2. I think I said he was -3. But how much was his role in that? First goal, he had his guy. McDavid was somewhere in the corner covering the cameraman. He also generated 3 high-danger chances. Henry was fine defensively. None of his minuses were direct contributors to goals against. He should be in. Arvidsson, Janmark, Podkolzin, Brown were all much worse. Al.
I mean, look, the Skinner, like I said, you got your beliefs.
Fired up.
You got your beliefs about Jeff Skinner. I don't think Henrique's coming out. I don't think Nugent Hopkins is coming out. I do not think Connor Brown played well at all in game 1, but because he kills penalties, he's probably not coming out. I'm telling you how Knoblock thinks. I mean, somebody might say to hell with it. I don't care if a guy kills penalties. If he didn't play an overall good game, he's coming out. I think with Nugent Hopkins, we'll dive into that in a few minutes. Let's save that discussion so we can get into it in a little more detail.
Sounds good.
But I there were kind of 2 parts to that text.
Yeah.
Really well-written text.
Yes.
I love people who defend their arguments.
Yes.
I would say for me, though, I agree more with the Nugent Hopkins half than with the Jeff Skinner half.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. We're going to do our game of the night, and you'll have your thoughts too.
I do have some.
Yeah, but we'll get to that at about 5:20. We're going to do our game of the night for Play More tables and games, from ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for. Visit Canada's Game Room Experts locations in Edmonton or Calgary, or online at playmoregames.ca.
Play more tables and games.
Wow, that's a lot of audio coming in. My goodness, it was only missing a harmonica.
Let's go, girl.
All right, you can go first with your game of the night.
Well, you know me, Reid. I like the late games.
Yes, you do.
Aside from the Oilers Kings.
Yeah,
obviously.
we'll do on top of the obvious one.
I'm going to go to the NBA. 7:30, Golden State's at Houston. Game 1 was surprising. Golden State was down early, but they came back to win. I want to see what Houston's got. If they go down, if they lose both at home, that's troubling. That's it. And this game.
Well, this is mine, Canadiens Capitals, which is just underway. We have it on the ESTV. Capitals won game 1 in overtime after a unfortunate icing call against the Canadiens. Probably should have been waved off. The way Montreal didn't go away, and that's really the theme of their season. I mean, they were 5 or 7 points out of the playoffs at the end of January. I think they had a 2% chance to make the postseason. Kept fighting, got in. I mean, you could have watched the last game and thought, Washington's just better, right? Montreal can't play with them. And then Montreal, I mean, that tying goal for Montreal, that was just relentless, energetic hockey.
Yeah, Nick Suzuki.
And you and I have talked about that they just seem to be playing with this, I don't know, loose, or just like with a positive energy. I mean, yes, they make mistakes. They're not perfect, but they just don't seem to get deterred. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. They just have this sort of relentless energy about them. So, yes, Washington took the first game. By the way, 90 seconds in, Montreal dominated. Montreal probably could have scored a couple. This is an incredible first couple of shifts for the Canadiens. They've been in the offensive zone for 56 straight seconds. We're a minute 46 into the game. Suzuki's around the net. Slavkovsky's in there. I mean, like they kind of have that. It's almost like that pack mentality, right? I think that's something the Oilers lack sometimes. Montreal's found that spark. So this is my game of the night. I realize Washington's a heavy favorite, but I think Montreal proved, even in that loss in game 1, that they're not going to go away. They're not going to be a happy little underdog that's just thrilled to be in the playoffs. And what a start to the game for them.
I'm watching it because I'm invested in it now.
How so, Jay?
I think Washington's going to lay the hammer down here. Took them at -1.5 on Cool Bet.
Well, could happen.
Well, I'm betting on it to happen.
So I'll go with Montreal and Washington. Of course, Dallas and Colorado playing again tonight as well. That series is 1-1. And the Oilers game at 8:10 face-off tonight. So it's still late, but you don't have to wait till 8:22 like you did last game. That is our game of the night for Play More tables and games. If you've been texting us, 780-218-9999, you've been using the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. Do we have a winner in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game?
No.
We do not.
No.
All right. Do you want me to give the fifth clue now? I better give the fifth clue now. Or do you want me to wait?
Wait.
Okay, I'll wait, Jay.
I say wait.
The 4 clues so far. Clue number 1, loss. Clue number 2, loss. Clue number 3, loss. Clue number 4, win. Okay? Those are the 4 clues so far. First and last name of the athlete. Text it in, right?
That's correct, Reid.
First and last name of the athlete.
First and last
name of the athlete. To 780-218-9999. Jay's all over this.
I am. Like a hawk. They used to call me Hawkeye.
Do you want to say anybody that it is not?
Oh, are you allowing me to?
Yes,
My liege?
but carefully. Carefully.
Okay.
Okay, there was a player you said earlier.
Yeah, I will say it's not Corey Perry.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I was going to say it's not Corey Perry.
It's not Corey Perry.
Right.
A lot of Corey Perry guesses.
It is not Corey Perry.
Yeah. That's all I can really say.
That's all we can say at this point.
Unfortunately, my management is advising me to speak no further on
pleading the
this.
fifth.
Yeah.
I'm pleading the fifth. Evander Kane in action tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. He was asked, hey, Evander, did you ever wonder if you were going to play at all this season?
No. I was always very confident that I'd be back playing. So obviously it was unsure when that was going to happen, but looking forward to tonight.
All right. I'm sure he is. I'm really interested to see how he's going to play. Like I said it in September when this got announced, I was like, I don't know if he's going to play again. And I'm going to be wrong, which is fine. But I just thought to myself, it just always seems to be stuff with this guy. You know, like what? And then there was stuff. Then it's kind of then it comes out, oh, he got another procedure. Who knows when he's going to be back? And then it's like, okay, he won't be back until in the playoffs, right? And then it sounded like, oh, he's going to play game 1. He didn't. He's back for game 2. I don't know about the stuff that teams were discouraged from playing LTIR guys in the first game of the playoffs. Because then Florida went and did it. I mean, I guess you could say we don't want you to do that, but you can't really punish somebody if it's a nudge, nudge, wink, wink, or a, hey, hey, Stan, it's Gary. I will deny this phone call ever happened, but Evander Kane will not be making his season debut in game 1. You understand? What are you going to do? Like, if Florida got that phone call, they just said, yeah, okay, thanks, Gary. You're retiring next year, right? See ya. Like, so I don't know about that. I think Friedman was involved in that, and I know usually he's correct. I just don't know how you can enforce that. Again, when all these teams have agreed to the rule that the salary cap doesn't count in the playoffs. That Tampa Bay, did it with Kucherov? Vegas did it with, was it not Stone they did it with? So I don't know how you really can enforce it. But anyway, Kane is back. Now that he's back, everything else aside, if he is close to his potential, that's a potential game changer for the Oilers.
Yes.
Because he's a true power forward type of player. Can play big, can get to the front of the net, can shoot, can make plays, can intimidate. I mean, I always love that audio from the Heritage Classic. Remember there was that scrum and he just looked at the Calgary players on the ice and he was like, who here is going to do anything?
Yeah.
Who here is going to do anything?
Step up.
And it's sort of just diffused everything, which is fair. Now in a playoff series, the Kings might say, well, we're still going to try to do something, but that's the type of player he can be. He has swagger, which is something the Oilers are still often criticized for not having enough of. So if he's back and he's in Evander Kane form, that's a big plus for Edmonton.
It just depends on what version, Reid. Like nobody knows. Nobody seen.
Well, he'll have the attitude. It's just, is his body going to do what his brain and heart want it to do? That's what I think.
Modular Mike in the River Cree inbox. What do you guys think about rolling up McDavid and Draisaitl on the PK to take advantage of the Kings' 5-forward setup? Well, they did that last game.
When they were down,
Yes.
I'm personally not a fan of that. Though it's a good question, again, especially since the Kings might not have a defenseman on the ice. I'm not a fan of it, and I'm going to tell you why. Especially with McDavid. Much of McDavid's success comes from how he can move and how he can skate. And if I were to have a criticism of Connor McDavid, it's that when he plays defense, he skates around the defensive zone and tries to find a loose puck and get it out.
Pick it out.
And then sometimes you see, McDavid's guy was open in the slot because he thought he could get to the corner and couldn't get to the puck in time, and the puck went to his man. Like, McDavid is at his best when he is on the move. Penalty killing is a bunch of starting and stopping.
Yes.
Right?
Better in transition.
Right. And yes, if he can get the puck shorthanded, maybe he beats somebody one-on-one or breaks away with it. I just think it's a risky proposition. I think Woodcroft did it. Certainly, Woodcroft had almost all the forwards killing penalties. Dave Tippett did it, but I remember this. Tippett used to put McDavid and Draisaitl out for like the last 20 seconds of a PK. So remember the games in Winnipeg in 2021? The Oilers blew a 4-1 lead in Game 3. And then in Game 4, they had I think a 3-2 lead after 2 and eventually lost 4-3 in triple overtime. Like a classic game. And LA tied it on a power play, late on a power play when McDavid and Draisaitl were on the ice and probably weren't where they should have been killing a penalty. Now, I know that's 4 years ago. They're older since then. I would be reluctant to do that unless, like in Game 3, you're behind and maybe you really, really need a shorthanded goal. I wouldn't do that. I would stick with the penalty killers that they've been using. But I think it's an excellent question, and there is an argument for doing it, but I wouldn't do it. Would you?
Maybe later in. Not to start or not, but maybe, they ice it or clear it with 30 seconds left. Sure. Hop over. See what you can do.
Yeah, I don't think I would even do it then.
But it's a bit of a liability, right?
Yeah.
And that's not suggesting that Connor McDavid can't play defense. It's just that's not how he's wired. He's looking to chip something out or pick something off.
And I mean, we had the person earlier worried about how much they're going to play.
Yeah, there you go.
So do you want them out a couple extra minutes a game, killing penalties? I personally, I wouldn't do it unless it was a desperate situation, like it was in the second half of the third period the other night. But that is a really good question. All right. 780-218-9999. Text line for River Cree Resort and Casino. We're going to get into buying or selling for Damon Bunting in a couple of minutes. Here comes the Koob.
After not playing since the Stanley Cup final, since last season, Evander Kane returns to the Oilers lineup against the Kings in Game 2. Josh Brown and Jeff Skinner step out with John Klingberg stepping back in with Stuart Skinner getting the call in net. Join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30, 90 minutes before puck drop, right here on EST with the show live on location at Hudson's Bourbon Street. And from Washington, the Habs look to tie their series at 1 apiece with the Capitals. That one's already underway just about 8 minutes into the game before the Stars and Avs clash in Game 3 with that one tied at 1 apiece. Basketball has 3 games, and early in the first quarter, the Celtics are up 16-15 over the Magic. Boston holding the series 1-0. After that, we see the Warriors looking to take a 2-0 lead on the Rockets. And down south, the Lions have made Kirby Joseph the highest paid safety in NFL history after the two parties have agreed to a 4-year, $86 million contract. And trying to avoid the sweep, the Jays meet the Astros 9 other games tonight, 3 games live right now, including the Dodgers and Cubs runless in the second inning. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. The boys come back with buying or selling for Damon Bunting. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Craig Button with us on the show this morning.
Evan Bouchard, don't get your team in the hole and then go, oh yeah, well, I was really good. I got us out of the hole. That's not playoff hockey. We saw what he did last year in the playoffs. When he wants to be laissez-faire, and not just those turnovers that led to goals, but on some other plays in the game, not good enough. I don't care if he had 3 assists. Don't get us in the hole.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
All right, there's the world-famous Thumb Click Remax produced by Zachary Kubusch. Reminding you to click that thumbs up button if you are taking in the YouTube stream. We need 24 thumbs to get to our show goal of 200 and much higher goal during the playoffs. Why wouldn't we? We're going for the cup.
Why not?
We're going for the thumb cup. We're going for a cup we can only lift with our thumbs.
Fantastic.
All right. Appreciate you tuning in. Yes, Evander Kane is in. John Klingberg is in as the Edmonton Oilers take on the Los Angeles Kings. Tonight, Stuart Skinner in net. Of course, Darcy Kemper in net for the Kings. LA trying to go up 2-0 in this series. We will give the fifth clue in the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game in a few minutes. Washington, I missed what happened here. Washington on the power play 9 minutes into the first period against the Canadians.
Yeah, Wilson got cross-checked. I think, but they're still on the. But he's in the box as well. But look at this.
Short-handed chance for the Canadians, and it is Jake Evans who couldn't quite handle the pass, has to take it behind the net, and the Canadians will reset.
Look at this. Jill is listening to on the golf cart at the ranch.
Yeah, I saw that. Is it not raining out?
I was going to say, did you get a little wet?
Yeah, maybe it's stopped. We're not always fully aware of the weather here, working indoors most of the day.
Well, we're in a bunker.
Well, we're in a room with a blind.
Dusty has to open the trap door after the show to let us out.
We have to put on our gas masks, climb out. Is it raining right now, though?
It looked like it.
I thought it
rained recently.
It looked like it was kind of a miserable afternoon. But yeah, that's awesome. Golf on the Ranch. Our buddy Murray McCourt. When's he back with the VIP Golf Show?
Is
it May 4th?
4th.
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you.
Oh, yeah, that's Star Wars Day.
No, it's my daughter's birthday.
Oh, pardon me.
Duh.
Sorry. Do we have a winner?
We do.
We have a winner in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. This person will get a $25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub. Who is the winner?
Sobkirk.
Oh, we've met him.
I think we have.
Okay, perfect. So here we go. The first clue was loss, which refers to Super Bowl 21. Giants beat the Broncos 39-20. The second clue was loss. That refers to Super Bowl 22. Washington beating Denver 42-10. The third clue was loss, referring to Super Bowl 24. San Francisco hammering Denver 55-10. The fourth clue was win, referring to Super Bowl 32. Denver 31, Green Bay 24. The fifth clue, if we would have got to it, was going to be win, referring to Super Bowl 33, Denver beating Atlanta 34-19. If we needed a sixth clue, and we thought we might after how it was going there, if we needed a sixth clue, it was going to be Broncos. It's John Elway. John Elway is the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the game. Sobkirk is the winner.
Okay, Sobkirk. Koob will reach out to you in the River Cree inbox and let you know how you can get your $25 GC from Hudson's. Maybe you can use that if there's a Game 5.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right?
So Tom's at Hudson's on Bourbon Street today.
Yeah.
He's going to be at the Ice House in Ice District Plaza on Friday and Sunday. I'm going to go join him for my Reid's Read in person.
Oh, fancy.
After those games, so that'll be pretty cool. So John Elway, so the clues were loss, 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 win, win. Those were the 5 Super Bowls he played in. I know I had some people being like, "What? How can it be the same thing?" Well, that's how. It was a sequence of results in the Super Bowl. And people might be saying, "Well, Reid, those are different than the clues that you've given before." Yes, that's why it's a puzzle, everybody. You have to figure out what's happening. We did it the same way every game. Everybody would win all the time.
This one's for John. Remember that? That was Pat Boland.
Who did that? Oh, Pat Boland.
Pat Boland, Edmontonian.
What kind of Edmontonian? Yeah.
Former owner
of the Broncos, yeah.
Of the Broncos.
Which team was he? Was he a Wildcat or a Husky?
Husky.
He was a Husky. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Did a lot of nice things for that organization, I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Elway, what is he, the president of the team when Manning won it when they beat the Panthers?
I suppose he was, yes.
Yeah, I think he was the president or GM.
What a forgetful game that was.
Yeah. I don't even remember it.
I never did like those Broncos jerseys, the Elway era.
Oh, when they won? When they started winning?
Like the
blue ones? Yeah.
Navy blue with the orange stripe down the side.
Don't they still kind of wear those? What are they wearing now?
No. Now they go to the orange and they got the old Denver D with the horse.
Was that their full-time logo again?
Well, actually, no, Reid, you're right. But they totally changed the blue is now like a matte, like a dark blue. It's like this blue.
Okay.
And I like their new jersey.
I know they were in the playoffs,
sharp.
but I have trouble remembering what they were wearing. All right. Oilers game coming up. It's an 8:10 puck drop, by the way, if you're just tuning in, so you don't have to wait quite as late as you did the other night. It is time for Buying or Selling, presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle is Damon Bunting Real Estate. Jay and I are having an extended show today, by the way. We're going until 6:30 and then straight into an extended GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30, leading into the game at 8. So we got you covered all day long here on Edmonton Sports Talk, post-game coverage with Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, and a couple other special guests along the way. So buying or selling, which Oiler most has to improve his play from game one? We'll say which Oilers skater. We'll leave the goaltending out of this for the time being.
Can I change it to skaters? And I'll tell you why. Okay?
Sure. Well, you can present whoever you like, yes.
Well, here's the deal. Draisaitl, McDavid playing on the same line, often referred to as the nuclear option or nuclear.
Right.
But that works. Everybody knows that works.
Yes.
They dominated in the final period of that game, game one. But in order for it to be sustainable, you need to have other lines going. So I'm going to say who has the most pressure on them to perform tonight, or who has to up their game the most. And I guess I have to leave Evander Kane out of this because he wasn't playing in game one.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm going to say it's the second line led by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with Hyman on his wing. That line needs to elevate their game.
Right.
In order to take the pressure off of Draisaitl and McDavid. Because you can roll with Draisaitl and McDavid as long as you have other lines that are going.
Right.
If it's just that line, well, that's not going to do it. Throw Frederick Henrique. I'm just saying, second and third lines need to up their game. That's who I would think has the most pressure.
Like, if I had to pick a guy, I would say Nuge. And I know Nuge is very popular. I mean, he's a beloved player. I get it, but it's pro sports. So if you're not performing, it's got to be pointed out. And I also know I've said other players, like Connor Brown to me was invisible last game. Of course, he has to play better. But I think you made a good point. Nugent-Hopkins is in a position where he's expected to be noticeable. And if that line makes an impact, because this is the problem, right? They go nuclear, and that line could score 3 goals, 4 goals, but they could still lose the game because the other 2/3 of the game, the other team wins, right? Or however much they play. So if there's a presence from that second line, right? If there's a presence from that second line, then LA can't say, okay, we get a breather when McDavid, and I know teams don't take breathers during games, but mentally it's like,
sure,
okay, we can win this shift, right? Like, we might get pounded by Draisaitl, McDavid, and Perry. They're going to be on the ice for 40 seconds to a minute. If they get a goal a period, okay, hopefully we can get to 4, right? Because you don't want LA sitting there thinking like, okay, just survive this shift. Maybe we're going to give up some shots on goal. Maybe we'll need Kemper to make a big save or two, but just survive this shift. And then great. The other lines, we turn the tables. And then maybe even, hey, if we don't score, we make McDavid and Draisaitl start with a face-off in their end when they do come back on the ice, right? So I would say you need something from Nugent-Hopkins. And that didn't the one texter say even on the power play, Nuge is not as dynamic on the power play, even as he has been in other years. It's still a pretty good power play. So I would say Nugent-Hopkins specifically because, he's playing center tonight on the second line, not the third line.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are other players. I'd like Pud Colson to do more. I'd like him to be more physical. Certainly Arvidsson, you'd like him to finish a chance or two and get to the net. Henrique, yes, I know somebody wrote in saying, his foot speed might be a challenge for him. Yeah, those are all fair comments. But here's the thing. The Oilers' forward depth 1 through 12 is better than the Kings because the Kings don't use forwards 10 through 12. And the Oilers don't use theirs a ton, but they use them more than that, right? So then it comes down to, okay, 1 through 9, what's going to happen?
Sure.
Well, if Nugent-Hopkins plays well and Brown plays well and Henrique plays well, then all of a sudden you're doing fine. So I'd say Nugent-Hopkins. Certainly, yes, of course, people are posting Bouchard. No doubt about it, especially with the giveaways.
I was just going to say.
And being more engaged and desperate, like just having more intensity, for sure. I mean, you can bring up a lot of guys after you lose a game 6-5.
If Nuge is 1A.
But I'm thinking, I guess the reason I'm picking a forward is because they were so terrible offensively for about 40 minutes. I mean, what was it? How many shots did they have in the first two periods? It wasn't very many. And they took over half the second period to get a shot, and it was from a defenseman. Now, Bouchard, you don't mind shooting the puck, but the forwards are supposed to get the bulk of the shots, right? So that's why I'm putting this on an offensive player. And I realize people could easily say, Reid, they scored 5. They gave up 6. It comes down to defending. Fair enough, but if we want to talk about actually having a lead and putting some stress on LA, I think that a lot of that is going to come from, trying to generate something in the offensive zone and keeping the Kings hemmed in. We know Draisaitl and McDavid, whoever their winger is, can hem the Kings in. Can another line keep that going? So that's why I think Nuge on the second line. That's where it has to come from.
Yeah, if Nuge is 1A, Bouchard's a close 1B, I would say, in terms of having to up your level of play.
Right.
Because, directly related to 2 goals against. Just not good enough. And he would probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
He knows that. He's not naive. So if you can let's say you get one of those 2 things happening, either that second line picks it up and contributes more, or Bouchard limits mistakes.
Yeah.
That's a different game last game, and it could turn the series. It's just that second line read of RNH, Kane, and Hyman is going to be something to watch tonight.
Well, and maybe that's the game. Maybe I think you make a good point, Jay. Maybe that's the line that could really win the game for the Oilers.
Yeah. Well, it has to be. It has to be. They have to get going. You cannot just depend on 29 and 97 to do everything. If you have second line scoring, heck, if you have third line contributing, that was a big part of their success in last year's playoff run, was having that depth contribution.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Then that opens up so many more doors, right? If you can run the ball, it opens up the pass game, and vice versa. You can't be, one-dimensional.
On defense, Nurse, Bouchard, Wallman, Klingberg, Kulak, Emerson. Question marks about Klingberg. We'll see how much he plays. I think he'll play more than Josh Brown. I think he's better than Josh Brown. Is he going to be good enough in this environment? I think that's still a fair question to ask.
That's a great question.
On top of wanting Bouchard to be better. Obviously, Stuart Skinner's game is going to be scrutinized. You just need him to be solid in there, and at times he was, quite frankly. But then you had the goal go in the final minute that kind of fluttered by him. So another big matchup coming up tonight: 8:10 face-off, 6:30 GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. All right.
I just want to get to this because I do want to hear this, and maybe after 6 in the bonus half hour that we have before we get to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Maybe we could do some predictions from the Nasties. Let us know what you think is going to happen tonight. How's the game going to go? And do that after 6. Because Timber Woodsman comes onto the River Cree inbox and says, Janmark goal tonight. That would mean he's on a heater.
3-game playoff goal streak. That would be incredible.
That was a great tweet.
Again, it's true. He had a good game. He had a good game. I didn't have any problems with how Janmark played. I mean, he's around the net. Didn't he draw a penalty? Did he get cross-checked? I think he got cross-checked in the first period. Or that line drew a penalty, I think. So, yeah, that's the thing. Like, here's Podkolzin, Janmark, and Arvidsson is better than the Kings' fourth line because the Kings' fourth line doesn't play. But I think the Oilers, the middle 6 needs to be a lot better than they were last game. 780-218-9999 is how you text us. It's the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. If you're taking in the show on YouTube, remember to subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 11.6K in terms of subscriptions. And keep clicking the thumbs up button. A dozen clicks away from getting to 200 which is a really good total. So keep clicking away.
We're 7 away, Reid, from 11.6.
Well, that's
subscribe.
Tell your buddy to subscribe.
Let's go. We got 45
check
minutes.
out this channel. Subscribe to it. Let's do all that. Let's hand it over to Tommy with 11.6. That would be awesome. Let's hand it over to Koob right now.
Evander Kane makes his season debut for the Oilers in Game 2 against the Kings. John Klingberg stepping back in for Edmonton with Stuart Skinner getting the call in between the pipes. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live from Hudson's Bourbon Street with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas teeing up the action 90 minutes before puck drop at 6:30, only on EST. 2 other games on tap. Game 2 between the Caps and Canadians has the game locked at zeros nearing the end of the first. Washington up 1-0 in the series. Later, Dallas visits Colorado looking to take a 2-1 series lead. And on the court, the Magic trail by 6 points in quarter 2 of Game 2 against the Celtics. Boston leading the series while Miami is up 4-2 early in the game against the Cavs. Cleveland taking Game 1. In Houston, the Jays and Astros are just getting underway. 3 other games are live, having the Nationals up 2-1 over the Orioles in the 4th inning. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Is this Fallout?
No, what is it, Koob?
This is Jay Milne on the lead vocals. Sheldon S. in the Nasty Chat. We had our off-topic topic for William Huff. What instrument would you like to hear the national anthem played on tonight in Los Angeles after they pulled out the harmonicas for Game 1? Sheldon S. says, in tribute to Dusty, have them burp the anthem. I used to be able to burp the alphabet, so the anthem can't be that hard. Yeah, how hard could it be?
Talented. This one comes in from Sickler. Just listening with my son, Ben. He's rooting for Reid today in the word of the day. It's his favorite part of the show, and he always likes when we win.
Tell him thank you. Or I guess thank you.
Benny, thank you.
Thank you, Benny. A couple more limericks I want to get to. Thanks for sending these in. Read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Chris, there was once a team playing in playoff Game 2, had so many healthy players, coach didn't know what to do. So Jeff Skinner will sit. Don't need Josh Brown for a bit. Kane and Klingberg suiting up for the blue and orange crew. Good? Every line's too long. Yeah. You could have tightened that up, Chris.
What's the word for that?
Brevity.
Not the word.
Just because it's just the pacing was just a little off, but I like the rhyming and I like how it used the news of the day. But it's good. I criticized to help you improve, not to mock.
Oh yeah, no, it's an art.
Yeah,
take some time.
And mine aren't perfect, but I usually have the cadence down pretty good.
Picasso's first painting probably stunk.
Yeah, the eyes were all over the place. That's right, everybody. How many sports talk shows can hit you with some art humor? Okay, that actually makes sense.
Oh.
Okay, give us a thumbs up for that.
Well done.
If you know of anybody in your life who's an art history major, tell them to subscribe to the Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. All right. Also have the Big Ukes limerick. He writes one pretty much every day. Game number 2 of the 4th go-round. Hoping the Oil can run them Kings into the ground. Kane train return. Big hits we yearn. If Reid were a dog, would he be a dash hound?
What was the first line?
Oh, I just erased it. Hang on. Oh, what did I do with it? It's gone. I'm sorry. I hit delete by accident. Oh, no, there it is. Hang on, Jay. Hang on. Game number 2 of the 4th go-around, hoping the Oil can run them Kings into the ground. Yeah. Oh, that works. It's pretty good.
I always thought it was a dash hound.
Yeah, but I know, but I think you got to go.
You got to go with
the spirit of
sneaky
the
sneaky uke.
We are camped out, of course, in the Banquet studio, craving a late night snack. Check out the Banquet's new late night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real, play hard. Happy to have the Banquet on board as our studio sponsor on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. So Kane is in, Klingberg is in. Oilers trying to even up the series against the Los Angeles Kings. By the way, does Will Ferrell get shown on TV an appropriate amount, too much, or not enough?
Great question. Too much.
I think it's too much.
Too much.
Yeah, he's at the game. Fine.
Cool.
Because they showed him reacting to the
end
McDavid's tying goal and then the Kings' go-ahead goal. Like, okay, we know he's there.
I mean, okay. No, I will say this. If he is dressed up as Buddy the Elf or one of his characters, Anchorman,
because
Ashley Fraser,
didn't he have this checkerboard pattern on his face last year?
If he is all in, show him. Because it's funny to look at.
Right.
But regular Will Ferrell,
and good for him.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, let's do it.
You want to dive into it, huh?
Yeah. Well, somebody's cheering for me.
The word of the day.
I got it.
Reid and Jay.
I got people inspiring me.
Your concentration.
What do they got?
I don't do it for me.
What again?
I do it for the others. I do it for Sickler's son.
Find out.
English, do you speak it?
You're going to like this one.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls.
This was sent. This is part of the listener submission, who should be unnamed at this point.
Oh, wow.
But I think you'll like it.
You're so devious.
Cromulent.
What?
Cromulent.
Oh, wow. I do not know this word. Okay. Well, I'll take a stab at the spelling. Cromulent? Oh, there's another way I could go with this. Okay, I'm going to go with my second instinct.
Oh, I disagree, but go ahead.
Okay, I'll go with my first instinct then, if you're giving me a hint.
Trust yourself. I'm just saying. I didn't even look at what you wrote.
Cromulent. Cromulent. I wondered if there was a B after the M, like in crumb or thumb.
Right.
So, okay, thank you for that. So, cromulent.
It's like my song yesterday. Trust yourself.
I don't know what this word means. I'll try to come up with. Sometimes I take a stab at it and at least get a quarter point. Cromulent. I don't know what crom means. I will say cromulent is something that is old and decaying. Way off.
Oh, you suck.
Cromulent. Well, thanks, Koob. Yeah, thanks. Just throw that extra thing in there. The tuba's not humiliating enough. Okay.
I'll keep adding more.
My God. Is VR Montenegro right in the nasty chat? He says it means legitimate.
Yeah. The actual definition, I'll give him this. The actual definition is acceptable and or satisfactory. He's a perfectly cromulent quarterback, but teams don't want cromulent quarterbacks. They want consummate ones?
They want excellent ones. Acceptable and satisfactory. Okay, that's a good word. Cromulent.
Second word of the day, taxonomy. Taxonomy.
Oh, taxonomy.
Didn't we have an onomy word
Yeah,
recently?
yeah, it was some government one. Taxonomy. taxonomy. Yeah, that's so okay. Yeah. I want to say this. I am 6 for 6 in spelling this week.
You are. You're on fire.
So that's a nice little run for me there. Definition's not as good. Well, Monday I was perfect. Yesterday, not so good. I think I got a quarter point yesterday for a definition. Nothing so far today. Taxonomy. So I know taxidermy has to do with the, the preservation of animals or whatever, right? So, tax does. I'm thinking that tax has nothing to do with taxation. Now, I don't know if the tax prefix or whatever you want to call it has to do with animals or has to do with preservation in general. I'm going to say taxonomy has to do with the process of preservation. Preserving anything. That is wrong. That's a big wrong.
The branch of science.
You
gotta let the emperor finish.
Sorry, emperor. The branch of science concerned with classification, especially of organisms and systematics.
So it does have to do with animals.
Yeah, it's a classification of, especially of organisms.
Okay. VR Montenegro, he's all over this today. System of biological classification. Hersey, science of classifying work. Wow, people knew this one.
Did they? We don't know.
Well, they may have looked it up, but still, they're participating, which is good.
Hersey, VR, congrats.
Ding, 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 ding it away.
Okay, well, so I have a pretty good streak of spelling, though.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think I've ever spelled 6 in a row correctly.
You're on a torrid pace this week.
Torrid, Torrid. Yes, not even one of the words. Oh, I was doing tightrope today, and there was a word. I was like, I should ask Jay to spell that one, but now I don't remember what it was. Just, I want to start giving you the odd word just for no reason.
Sure, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Hersey asks, hey, Jay, what do you make on the talk about Shedeur Sanders coming to the draft with his stock plummeting? We're going to talk a little bit about draft tomorrow. Tomorrow is draft. Wait,
is it round one tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow is draft day, so we'll talk a little bit. But yes, Shedeur Sanders stinks. He shouldn't be drafted as high as
this is Dion's kid.
Yes.
How high is he going to go?
Probably too high. But
first round?
Yes.
You choose me?
That's what he'll say when he's selected.
Tennessee's supposed to have the first overall pick. By everybody saying it's Cam Ward. If they do not take Travis Hunter,
the goalie?
No, football player.
Okay.
If they do not take Travis Hunter is a generational talent, in my opinion. But we'll talk a little bit about it tomorrow.
Evander Kane playing on a line with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman tonight.
Yeah, we've had a dozen or so games together over the past. Really hardworking guys. I think if we play our game and keep things simple, great opportunity to have some success together.
All right, so Evander Kane back in the lineup. Hasn't played since June 10th, 2024. It was game 2 of the Stanley Cup final. The Oilers lost on one to fall down 2-0 in the series to the Florida Panthers. We're with you till 6:30, extended program. So keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube. We're leading into the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show at 6:30. Tom Gazzola at Hudson's on Bourbon Street. So we have you totally covered leading into this huge game 2. We got the Koob coming up, 6 o'clock break.
Jeff Skinner and Josh Brown are out for the Oilers. Evander Kane making his season debut for Edmonton. John Klingberg is also in the lineup as Stuart Skinner takes the crease for Game 2 against LA. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas get you set for the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Gazzola live on location at Hudson's Canada's Pub on Bourbon Street at 6:30 right here on EST. Meanwhile, it's scoreless between the Caps and Canadians entering period 2 before Dallas and Colorado face off in Game 3. That series is tied at 1 apiece. And a trio of Game 2s on the court right now. The Celtics hold the Magic 43-35 nearing the end of the second quarter, while Miami is up by 4 points against the Cavs. Cleveland and Boston both won the opening games in their respective series. In baseball, it's runless between the Jays and Astros in the top of the second inning, with 4 other games live, including the Dodgers up 2-0 in the third. You're locked in here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and that was your sports update.
Step inside Rogers Place. Play La Bamba, baby. Play La Bamba, baby.
We're a dangerous team when we're rolling, and we're healthy, and we are healthy.
Cup is on the line, baby, come and get it done. 16 wins, yeah, they're going on a run.
Oh my goodness, it's the playoff song. Let's go win the Stanley. But we'll do the whole thing at the end again.
Obviously.
We'll do the whole thing at the end of the show.
Game day, baby.
Yes, game day. We'll play the whole thing at the end of the show, which is later today. If you're like, why are these guys still going? We're extending our show on these 8 o'clock game days. We're going until 6:30. Tom and Hernan are taking over at 6:30, leading into the 8 o'clock game. Again, if you missed it, I want to reiterate this because we always get questions, especially the playoffs. Well, wait a minute. When does the game actually start? 8:10. Okay, I got that straight from LA. 8:10, no 8:22 tonight, 8:10 game. So be ready to rock and roll. We've been rock and rolling all day long here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Keep clicking that thumbs up on YouTube. We've surpassed 255. I think we can make a rally for 300.
Absolutely.
Because I think we have some people just coming in to check out the pregame coverage, which is pretty cool. So keep clicking that thumbs up and subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk if you have not done so, as we are almost at 11,600 subscriptions. The Kings are going to go with Kopitar between Kuzmenko and Kempe, Danault with Fogle and Moore, Byfield between Fiala and Laferriere, Hellenius with Malott, Koob, Malott, and Turcotte, Anderson, Doughty, Gavrikov, Spence, Edmondson, Clark are the defensemen. Kemper's their goaltender. The Oilers, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Perry. Nugent Hopkins, Kane, and Hyman, Henrique, Frederick, and Brown, Janmark, Podkolzin, Arvidsson. So Jeff Skinner is scratched. Head coach Chris Knoblock tells you why.
Roles and responsibilities. We only need so many guys to be on the power play. We only need so many guys to play top 6 with skilled positions. We need guys to be able to kill penalties. Jeff doesn't kill penalties, so there's nothing against Jeff's game the other night. It was just we are putting in a banter tonight. We had to take somebody out, and everyone's got a role.
All right, so that's why the coach is doing it. I realize there are, I don't know if it's a majority of fans, certainly a collection of fans who would disagree with Jeff Skinner coming out, but he is coming out. Nurse with Bouchard, Wallman with Klingberg, who makes his Oilers playoff debut, Kulak and Emerson, so Deneen and Brown are scratched. Stuart Skinner starts in net. Calvin Pickard, the backup goaltender. That is the lineup set for this game. Certainly we'll see if Draisaitl and McDavid are going to be as dynamic. I mean, I guess really led by McDavid. I mean, he was more motorsome. That's I just made up a word.
Yeah, it's not bad.
He was more. Not that Draisaitl wasn't inspired, but McDavid was really the one who grabbed that game by the scruff of the neck, I thought.
Absolutely.
But certainly Draisaitl was good. Can the Oilers get more pressure and really production from the middle? I mean, they got a fourth line goal, which is nice from Janmark, right?
Yeah.
Like that's huge. Can they get something from Nuge, Hyman, Kane? Can they get something from Henrique, Frederick, Brown? Or does Janmark, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson outplay Henrique, Frederick, and Brown? Like, who's the fourth line?
That would be a great problem.
I guess you'd say the Henrique line is the third line because of Henrique's reputation.
Sure.
But
if you're talking that in the post-game show, did the Janmark, Podkolzin, Arvidsson line overachieve? That's a very good thing.
Well, yes, if they overachieved. If they outplayed the other two lines, it may TBD.
It still means they did something.
It still means they did something, yes.
Which is usually good. Now, we did talk earlier, Reid, the off-topic topic was what instrument should play the anthem tonight?
Yes.
We had a lot of discussion about it.
Very good submissions.
What was there? The saxoboom. There was the pan flute.
Saxoboom. That's such a weird thing.
A lot of recorders. People are liking the recorders.
So we got a lot of recorders and we got a lot of kazoos.
And don't forget,
we got a few triangles.
Pan flute, saxoboom.
Somebody, well, I think one person said the Zamfir pan flute. Oh, 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I prepared some clips for you for, name that instrument. So you did do the first one, which was the electric guitar.
That was easy.
Okay. You got the second one.
Well, I got a wrong guess first.
You did. No, you said it first. You just
did. I.
You said it too long.
Okay.
Now this one, I think you're going to have a challenge with. But Reid, name this instrument.
Okay. The zither.
Oh, what?
The zither.
What's a zither?
It's the thing that makes this noise. Okay, that's incorrect.
It is. I see now what a zither is. It's almost like a sit-down guitar.
Okay, play that again. Can you play it again, Koob? This actually is the anthem. Did you play this today?
Maybe.
Okay, so wow, what is this? It sounds haunting almost. Okay, so is it okay? I'm guessing that it's not a string instrument after all.
It's not.
It played?
Well, might be a bit. No, it's not a string instrument. I can say that.
Is it larger than a cell phone?
Yes.
It's not a string instrument then, I'm assuming.
No.
So is it blown into?
No.
It's not blown into. Is air pumped into it in any way?
Negative.
Okay, so it's not a string instrument.
Define string instrument.
Like a guitar.
Not in that respect,
It's
no.
not a keyboard.
No.
Okay. Does one play it with his or her hands?
Yes.
And the mouth is not involved?
Correct.
If somebody just tuned in for those last two questions. Okay, so it's not blown into. It's not a saxophone, clarinet type thing. It's not a reeded instrument, R-E-E-D.
Two people in the nasty chat have gotten it.
I went off the page, so
okay.
I don't see it. So, yeah, well, we got a lot of musically knowledgeable people out there, I'm sure. My musical knowledge is limited. Okay, so I'm trying to, first of all, picture this thing. So it's, okay, so the person playing it is not blowing into it. They're not hitting keys as on a keyboard or a piano or an organ or whatever.
Correct.
And they're not strumming it, so to speak.
Okay,
wait a minute. Okay, I said to you, is it a string instrument?
Mm-hmm.
And you said no.
Mm-hmm. I asked you for the definition of what you thought a string instrument.
Okay, is it a violin?
Is it
like a violin?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a bow. It's played with a bow then, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so so it has strings.
No.
It doesn't have strings.
But it's played with a bow.
But is it played with a bow?
Yes.
Okay, so is it...
This is exciting.
And it's held in the person's hands.
Yes.
Is it bigger than a violin?
Not really.
Not really. Is it in the family of violins? Is it in that family?
It's actually a tool.
Oh, is it a saw?
Yes.
They're playing a saw.
Yes,
they're playing a saw.
Yes.
Yes. After 20 guesses and many questions, I got it.
It's a musical saw. And that has been played before.
Right, like a regular...
It was played at the national anthem performed in Oakland in 2022 for an A's game.
Oh, wow.
Carolyn McCaskey performed the national anthem on a saw.
Great. She's great. She's one of my top saw performers.
You know, if I would... Can you imagine if Carolyn McCaskey came to Edmonton and put on a saw show? I would pay
like
$1,000 to see Carolyn McCaskey live. So there you go. It's a saw, and that was a tough one.
That was good though. I feel as if I've grown as a.
Do you want to hear it again now that you know it's a saw?
Sure. Well, yes. I'm not going to say no to that.
Improv 101, bro.
That is remarkable.
Isn't it?
All right. Keep giving us the thumbs up in YouTube.
Can I just say something, though? This came in, and a couple people have been bringing this to my attention, that maybe cromulent wasn't fair.
Why?
This listener has texted into the River Cree inbox, "Hey, Reid, cromulent is a made-up word popularized by the TV show The Simpsons." You heard of it? So I don't think that one was very fair. LOL,
oh, really,
Chris.
Jay?
Yeah, well.
Oh!
I didn't. Well, no, don't. Me.
The plot thickens, Mr. Bond.
I don't know what to say. What's
well,
a theremin?
I spelled it correctly.
A lot of people were guessing theremin.
What's a what?
A theremin instrument. Oh, I see. Oh, it's like you can play it physical contact. Like you can play it with your hands in the air. You must interfere with waves or something.
Oh, neat. Well, cromulent is now, but you can't tell me who sent this in. That's a secret. Who submitted that?
That's true.
So,
but who did? The person that did send it in identified it as from The Simpsons. I did not.
I don't remember that episode. I don't remember that episode. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right.
Uncle Jesse says, "Does one play it with their hands?"
The saw?
No, it just plays itself.
Get all cut
I did
up.
say no to that, right?
I said,
no.
Yeah, I said, they holding it, but it said, you said it's not strummed, and then I said they're using a bow.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, by playing with their hands, I meant like a piano or a guitar, that type of thing.
Yes.
Right. VR Montenegro says, that comment embiggens the rage in my heart. Embiggens is a word from The Simpsons.
Ah.
Right.
Well, you have a word correction from The Simpsons, don't you?
Oh, hang on. Wait, I gotta find it.
Oh, Papa Homer, you are so learned.
Learned, son. It's pronounced learned.
All right. 780-218-9999 in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. The Canadians have gone up 1-0 on the Washington Capitals. Christian Dvorak scoring a minute 16 into the second period. Josh Anderson and Brendan Gallagher with the assist. They're now 3 minutes into the second. So 1-0 Habs. Stars and Avalanche starts at 7:30 Mountain. And then, of course, the Oilers and the Kings just after 8 o'clock. EA in the nasty chat saying Skinner starting is a mistake. Well, we're going to find out. I would think if Stuart Skinner, I'm not saying necessarily wins, but it gives up a few more than you would like. I would think, I think they would go to Pickard in game 3. Like,
yeah.
If the Kings win 2-1 and Skinner stops 32 out of 34, do you change goalies?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Is that something where you just need to change things up to change things up?
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's the easiest
Or just
option.
say, look, Stuart, you're just not winning. You
two
got to
Ls.
either win or you lose. Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently, a bunch of people are ahead of us on their feed because they started putting in the nasty chat about 30 seconds ago that the Capitals scored, and they just scored. Hey, thanks for spoiling the picture for us. Remember, speaking of The Simpsons, Homer leaving The Empire Strikes Back, and there's that long lineup, and he says, I still can't believe that Darth Vader's Luke Skywalker's father. And it goes to that one guy. Thanks, Mr. Spoil the Picture for me.
Nasties, let us know. How do you think this game's going to go? What are your predictions?
Dirk says Skinner is fine. Bouchard needs to stop passing to the Kings in the slot. That would be helpful.
That's a fair point.
And that, you know what? And here's the thing, guys. That's why, because I see all the crap out there. Oh, EST will never criticize Skinner. You guys are in love with him. It's like, no, I'm not going to criticize the goaltender when there's a 2-on-0 12 feet out from the net. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't say every goal is on the goaltender. You know, like,
but you got to have it.
You seriously expect to believe every game should be 0-0? No goalie should ever let in a shot. Like, yeah, that's putting your goaltender in a really tough spot. You know, so
here's the thing, though, Reid. Here's the counter argument to that: is that if Stu Skinner was able to make that save and come up with this huge save, that might. You know,
I know, like I always
say,
there's a reason that they're called saves, but I also think there are some pucks that are more realistic to stop than others.
Fair enough. And Chris says, sorry, he's at the game.
Chris is at the Caps.
Maybe Chris is in Washington.
Chris is at the Caps Habs game and streaming us. That's incredible.
Can't be true.
Matt Hyman says, sun is shining in Edmonton. It is now. It was quite rainy earlier. We missed the exact window of the rain.
It's shining on your face. I think that's
why
it
is sort of coming in. Oh, yeah, there is a line of light on my face. I didn't even notice that.
A ray of sunshine on Reid's face.
Give the sun a thumbs up if you're still watching on YouTube. We can make a late push here for 300 thumbs in the final 10 minutes of the show. Sheldon, the blinds guy had one job at EST. Yeah, where's it coming in? Because they are shut.
Let's see.
That there is a bit of an opening. It's coming in up in the top left corner. That's where it's coming in. Yeah, and it's not even that wide of a crack in the blinds. Wow. Is it distracting? I don't know. I didn't even. Now, if I put my head in a certain spot, it bothers me a little bit. That's funny.
The blinds guy at EST. Yeah. Business trip, and yes, I'm from Edmonton, and I'm wearing my Oilers jersey.
Wait, Chris is listing. Capitals just scored again, 2-1.
There we go.
So he's at the Caps game, and what he's got is he has
see who scored
on his phone. He's streaming us. That's amazing.
Now imagine if we saw the Oilers jersey in the crowd.
Guess who just scored?
That's what I said.
The J. Milne All-Star
My
team.
guy.
Dylan Strome taps in his own rebound. You should do tomorrow. You should do you're the J. Milne All-Star team.
Sure. Duct tape. We need duct tape.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not real. It's not going to stay that way very long.
Commonly thought of as duck.
It is not duct tape.
It is not. It's
duct tape. All right. We're having fun this afternoon.
Yeah.
Chris Knoblock on the return of Evander Kane.
Evander's obviously going to have some rust. He's not going to be at 100% with his game. Not to say with his health, but with his game because of he hasn't played in about 10 months. It's going to take him for a while to get to feeling confident with the puck and moving quickly and all that stuff. But definitely one attribute or a couple attributes that he'll be bringing us is the physicality. He's healthy. He'll be able to finish checks, play his kind of game, and shooting the puck. There's no hesitation there. He can shoot the puck as well as he's always been. It'll be the other things, moving his feet and getting that speed and his hands being quick. But we certainly feel that there'll be some rust, but there'll be a lot of good things, attributes that he'll be able to bring our team, and throughout the playoffs, just continue to build on that.
All right, that is Chris Knoblock. Here's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins asked about the Oilers losing game one of a series yet again, and their experience of hopefully knowing what to do in this situation.
Yeah, I think it's definitely huge. We've gone through whether we've been up in series, we've been down in series. It's about sticking with it and trusting in ourselves. And having said that, it doesn't just come easy, and it's not just going to be given. But we know what it takes, and we need to see that tonight.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, we hear that all the time. The Oilers don't wake up until they're in a bad situation. Yes and no, I think, but there is some evidence to suggest that, unfortunately, including just in game one, including in other series in the past. They often lose the first game. And as we know, down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final, came back to force a game 7.
Well, and that's why I think you go with Draisaitl McDavid right off the hop.
Right.
Get him out there. Well, set the tone.
And and hopefully a team that does something early in the game.
I think the Oilers need to tonight.
And I think, quite frankly, I didn't think the Kings were great in the first period in game one either, but they got the 2 goals. I mean, the Oilers took the penalty. Byfield got that goal, banking in off Skinner in the final minute of the first period. So that was the thing. Even though the Kings were up 2-0, I didn't feel as if, oh my God, the Kings are blowing the doors off them. I kind of feel like, well, the Kings got 2, but the Oilers just are kind of being a little pat. No, the Kings check well. Belzy described how they take away the middle of the ice in the neutral zone and in their own end of the rink. I said the other day, through the first 2 periods of game one, sometimes it looked like the Kings had 7 players on the ice in the defensive zone. Like everybody was back. Everybody was in the right spot. Everybody was committed. Everybody was getting into the way. Now, the big guys did break that down for Edmonton, and that's what they're going to have to do again tonight. But I do think, and maybe I'll be eating my words, I do think if we want to talk goaltending, I do think the Oilers can test Kemper and get to him. I do think he's a good goalie. I know he's won a cup, but I think his stats are more of a product of the Kings' defensive play than his personal play. And I'm not saying that he's bad, but I'm just saying, his save percentage is in the same stratosphere as Hellebuck's. Hellebuck's a better goalie.
Well, yeah, and what did Nick Nixon say earlier? Kings play-by-play voice, 5th time this season that Kemper has allowed over 3 goals was last game. Right. So if you're getting above 3 goals, you're doing something right.
Right. So really, here's what it comes down to, and I get that they scored 5, it should be enough. But they didn't get all the goals till they were already down 4 goals in the game. They need more forwards to contribute in the offensive zone, and they just need to limit their mistakes. Don't pass the puck to players in front of your own net. Don't get scrambly and have 4 players below the icing line with a player in front. And then hopefully get a big save or 2 from Stuart Skinner. And he did make some big saves, I thought, especially on the Kings power play in the 3rd period. But, when everything gets bundled together, it all added up to that loss. I think we'll have a pretty good sense early. I think we'll know in the first 2 or 3 shifts how Kane is feeling and looking.
Yes.
And I think we'll know in the first 2 or 3 minutes what the Kings are going to try to do against McDavid and Draisaitl.
If you're watching on YouTube and you want to go directly from the Reid Wilkins show over to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, click the autoplay button. It's right down here on your YouTube screen. Click that. You only have to turn it on
there's
once.
There's a little arrow that looks,
It's right beside the closed captioning option there. You only have to click it once. It'll keep autoplay on and carry you right over to the pregame show.
Chris says it's a TV timeout at the Caps game. Can he get a conch? I don't have access to the conch, but I can give him one of these. Okay. We did both. We did David Lee Roth with the conch.
It's the playoffs. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. I don't think I'm supposed to touch the conch. But
no, I think Dustin's going to be quite upset with you.
Yes. Well, I'm off probation, bruh.
We're handing it over to Tom and Hernan. Tom's is at Hudson's on Bourbon Street for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. It's extended to 90 minutes. It's going to go from 6:30 to 8. Postgame show after the game. I'll be hopping on with the boys for Reid's Read tonight. Then back at it at 6 a.m. with the Nielsen show tomorrow morning to break down Game 2. We're 3 to 6 tomorrow. Marty Baron is scheduled to join us. We could also have a very... I believe we might have a very special guest who has a prominent job in Canadian sports. I think Dustin is working on that for us. Here is the full playoff song. On behalf of the Koob and Glue Guy, I'm Reid. Take care.
Play La Bamba, baby!
Play La Bamba, baby!
But we're a dangerous team when we're rolling, and we're healthy, and we are healthy.
Cup is on the line, baby, come and get it done. 16 wins, yeah, they're going on a run. Looking to advance, going deep in the dance. Hop on the bandwagon, let's hear the fans. The fans.
Special place to play, honestly. So much history, these fans. It's great to hear their sport.
Wrestling and dazzling every single night. Clubs coming up, baby, gonna be a fight. 6 games, 5 games, how about a sweep? Ticket prices, yeah, they're gonna be steep, yeah! Yeah! Come on! It's the playoffs! Crank it up! It's the playoffs! Take the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Ooh, gotta get the cup! Let's go win the Stanley! Come on, lift it up! Let's go win the Stanley! Waited long enough, it's time, no more wait for the oil, it's the fate, yeah. Hey! 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 Listen, First gear, second gear, third gear, go. McDavid 97 needs a one-man show. Draisaitl, Iverson, gotta love the nude. Bush, Skinner, and Picks need to be huge. Be huge. Be huge. They gotta squeeze a little, squeeze a little, squeeze a little more. Get the bottom six to find a way to score. One time, overtime, gotta find a way.